Now, his story is just one of many uncomfortable situations facing the Cowboys, and Irv has more.
Brent, the Cowboys have given new meaning to the old saying, we have met the enemy and they are us. Strangely enough, this is a team whose success with its replacement squad may have set in motion forces that could lead Dallas to another season of discontent. At Texas Stadium, they call it the Ring of Honor. And this year, another honor roll was assembled by Tex Schramm, one of the principal architects of replacement football. And now the ring has come full circle. Once again, it is easy to dislike the Cowboys.
Tex is lucky he doesn't have to play the games. All he has to do is sit behind his desk and make decisions. We're the guys that have to carry the brunt of that frustration towards the Cowboys on the field.
The Cowboys have always been the focal point of every team's season. And this is something they're used to. And just because it might be a different reason that they'd like to beat the Cowboys, this is something that they should be accustomed to.
In 1982, when the players went out on strike, there weren't any replacement games or replacement players that caused any disruptions. This time it's different. Here in Dallas, 8 Cowboy veterans crossed the picket line, and 26 replacement players are still here. You have to wonder if the Cowboys are a house divided.
These things do run deep, and this was a very emotional, draining for a lot of players, especially the guys that stayed across the line and didn't come in. And they lost a lot of money. There's a lot of hard feelings.
We've had it rough during this strike because a lot of guys went in. Most of the guys that went in were threatened by the organization in some form or another, like they're going to take their annuity away or not fund it or something like that. So it divided our team.
That division was magnified this week by all those replacements management kept hanging around.
I think it was more or less just something to rub it in our face a little more. I feel like we really don't need them here.
It's as if the fans don't want the veterans back. And for the real Cowboys, it's almost a relief to be playing in a union town like Philadelphia today. What kind of reception do you expect when you come in there with your Cowboy club?
I have no idea. I don't know what kind of reception we're going to get when we go in front of our own fans, much less somebody else's.
When we come home next week, we're going to get booed louder than any time that I've ever been in RFK. And it's just a very strange situation.
There was another thing that Tex Schramm might have shot himself in the foot. They built up the big PR thing and really got the people behind the replacement team, and now all of a sudden they're gone and the regular team's back, and people have been down on us for a couple of years. So that's another thing that we have to overcome.
Yeah, Irv, how many of the replacement players made the rosters for today's games?
Well, the 57 throughout the league were playing today. They were activated, Brent. And one of the stars of that group was wide receiver Kelvin Edwards from the Dallas Cowboys, who happens to be the leading scorer in the league outside of kickers.
They used to be called America's team, but the stars on their helmets have lost their glitter. And here in Philadelphia, the Cowboys were greeted today as the guys in the black hats. A chorus of boos for the team identified as the tormentors of the replacement Eagles 2 weeks ago. Dallas coach Tom Landry knows Buddy Ryan has hung a bullseye on his Cowboys.
That's fine. Just let them put it on. You still play the game out there. When
Philadelphia Eagles, a crucial NFC East Division battle. Washington, with help from their replacement team, has taken a 4-1 lead in the division. Dallas, their replacements winning 2 of 3, are in second place. The Philadelphia Eagles are way back at 1-4 as they lost all 3 replacement games. Hello, everybody. I'm Tim Ryan with Joe Theismann here at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia. And, Joe, one thing we know for sure, talking to the Eagles players and Coach Buddy Ryan, they're going to be playing with a lot of emotion today against the Cowboys.
Well, they certainly are, Tim. This team is absolutely ridden with emotion. Coach Ryan told us as soon as these guys came back to work, they were excited. Their fans are excited. You have to go to the other side of the coin, though, and look at the Dallas Cowboys situation. They're actually playing 3 separate football games. Obviously, their opponent today are the Eagles, but there's also a lot of strife on that team. It has not been a good week of practice. The fans don't even like them, so it's making more difficulty for the Cowboys to get ready for the opponent, the Eagles.
Well, what they know they're going to see today on the field, Danny White will be facing that feared Buddy Ryan, 46 defense.
Oh, yeah. Danny White has become the target of the Eagles' frustration. Every Eagle defender you talk to says, we have to shut down Danny White. He's our target. He was one of those veterans that crossed the line. They can't concentrate too heavily on Danny White, though, because the man that has really hurt them in the last few weeks, or the last few times they've played, is Herschel Walker. On the other side, it's going to be up to the Dallas defense to try and contain and shut down a young, experienced, growing Randall Cunningham.
Well, it's an absolutely beautiful day here. 57 degrees under sunny skies. A little breezy in this football complex here at Veterans Stadium. And the Cowboys will receive to our left in their road blue uniforms. It's off the hands of rookie Kelvin Edwards, one of 3 replacement players on the roster, and he downs it in the end zone. The Cowboys will start from their 20-yard line. Danny White, the veteran quarterback, brings out the Cowboys against this defense: Reggie White, Clark, Brown, and Simmons. Linebacker unit in the middle, Mike Reichenbach. Buddy Ryan's new Mike Singletary, his former Bears star. And the secondary that features Terry Hogue, free safety, in the spot normally occupied by Wes Hopkins, but Hogue has played well there. First down, Dallas. They come out in a stacked I. Complete on first down to Gordon Banks, number 87, a gain of about 7 yards. Now, Danny White was greeted by boos and is hearing some even now as Dorsett and Walker, Renfro, Banks, and Cosby starting. 2 rookies on the offensive line, Jeff Zimmerman and Kevin Gogan, will amplify on what problems that may bring. Kevin Gogan, a 316-pounder, 8th choice from Washington. And Jeff Zimmerman, a number 3 pick this year, 330-pounder out of Florida. And it's caught for a first down. Cowboys out at the 44-yard line of Dallas. Again, Gordon Banks, the 5-year man from Stanford.
The key to this particular play is Danny White has the time to throw the ball. He'll take the snap from center. You see Dorsett go in motion to pull the defense. Now on the left side of your screen, he's going to make a throw. The Eagles are in a zone defense. They don't play it very often, but there are soft spots. Great execution.
So first down, Dallas off to a good start here that helps to quiet some of the boos. First down at their own 44. Dorsett, and at the line of scrimmage, got maybe a yard.
I think it's going to be tough for the Cowboys to run against the Eagles. They have a very new offensive line. We talked about 2-A, Zimmerman, Rafferty, Kerr, and Gogan. Of course, Gogan and Zimmerman have the biggest challenges because it's brand new, this experience of going against the 46. They're going to make it, I think, this afternoon. I really believe that through the air if they're going to do it. You can't come up second down and 9 every time.
Zimmerman replacing Nate Newton out with a knee injury. Gogan replacing Phil Pozderac, who surprisingly retired just a couple of days ago. Came as a shock to everybody, particularly Tom Landry. White eludes some pressure, throws a low ball that's caught, but very little gain, maybe 2 yards. Doug Cosby, the tight end.
Now that particular pass by Danny White is evidence of the fact, remember against the Giants last year he had a broken wrist. That wrist is not healed completely. He does not have the flexibility and mobility. You see that wristband he's wearing. It's difficult to just have those little touch flips. There was evidence of it right now. He threw the ball into the ground.
It leaves third down and just about 6 yards to go. Renfro and Kelvin Edwards are now the wide receivers. From the shotgun. Early movement by the Eagles. Flag is down. The pass is complete out the left side to Edwards. And Kelvin Edwards, the rookie from Liberty who excelled in the replacement games, had first down yardage with a flag probably against Philadelphia.
Defense, right in, offside. Penalty refused. First down.
That is Clyde Simmons. The call from referee Gene Barth, and a first down Dallas on an 11-yard gain by Edwards.
They're in such a hurry to get to Danny White, they haven't really been able to throttle down a little. There's Buddy Ryan in his new sweater, his nice little line sweater. I was talking to him a little bit earlier. Everybody else is in jackets and other sweaters. Buddy's setting new fashion designs this afternoon.
Well, he is excited about the excitement surrounding his Eagles. He feels they've built confidence. This is Walker, and he is met at the line of scrimmage and dropped for very little gain at all. First contact made by Reichenbach, the middle linebacker from East Stroudsburg State. Number 55, the young man that Buddy Ryan says picked up that complicated 46 defense so quickly, a free agent. It was blossoming quickly into the star defender on this team among the secondary and linebacking core.
You see, when he steps in the huddle, he doesn't really say a lot to the guys. He'll start talking now. See, he's telling them the formation. Look, he says, now cover one. Herschel Walker's over here. Go on over on this side. See, he's constantly directing traffic. That's when the burden starts flying.
On 2nd and 9, Cowboys try the right side. Walker again is swarmed under. 5 or 6 Eagle defenders all arrive at the ball. We talked about the confidence and the excitement that Ryan has admired in this week of practice after 3 weeks of the strike taking place.
Reichenbach right in the middle. Now he's just calling all kinds of signals. Now he reacts to the ball. When you only have one back in the backfield, the middle linebacker is his responsibility, so he can flow right to him. And there's very little deception because he only has one guy to look at. And he's lined up right in the middle.
It'll be a 3rd and 7 with the ball at the Eagles' 37-yard line. Quite deep for Edwards. Good coverage, but it is incomplete. Roynell Young covering on the play, and the ball popped up in the air. A flag is down back at the line of scrimmage. The Eagles nearly had a deflected intercept.
5-yard penalty and a first down.
A defensive holding call against the Eagles gives Dallas a first down at Philadelphia's 32.
Buddy Ryan can't be very happy with that call, and when Danny White tries to go up top on Roynell Young, I know having played against him, he's probably one of the toughest men to beat because he has such great reaction to the ball. Also, as you look at your set, going from left to right, the Cowboys are going into a swirling type of a wind. That is the toughest place to put the ball in the air in this stadium.
One setback on first down for Dallas. It's complete, close to a first down. Doug Cosby trying to stretch it out there on the coverage, the linebacker Reichenbach. Cosby sneaking into the middle, and they'll measure.
You know, when you talk to the Cowboys, it's interesting. They say Philadelphia, as aggressive a defense as they have, they like to play zone on 1st and 10. So what we've seen so far is the Cowboys come out, throw on 1st and 10, and then if they try and run, they usually wind up, they have last 2nd down and 8, 2nd down and 9. So that's the way they're going to attack that Eagle defense. They're going to put the ball in the air on 1st and 10, try and get themselves into good field position. Don't want to wind up with 2nd and 20 or 1st and 20 in penalty situations.
They have just inches to go here for another first down. Their opening series, 5 out of 5, Danny White. The only one not completed was wiped out by the penalty against the Eagles. 59 yards on this drive and using up valuable clock time. We're just underway in Philadelphia. Cosby jumps to make the strong side right. Dorsett picking his way. Here's to have the first down near the 20-yard line. Dallas will have first down. Giles and Reichenbach on the hit.
Out to the right, what's happened is you got Tony Dorsett in the backfield, but they've split Herschel Walker all the way out to the right just to see what the Eagle defense. Now you see Terry Hogue start to favor to the right. That means that Herschel has attracted 2 defensive players, and it gives the edge to the Cowboy offense on those particular running plays. Now he's lined up in the eye in the backfield.
10th play of this series, Dallas with a first down in scoring territory. Walker is jammed up. 3 Eagles meet him behind the line of scrimmage. Terry Hogue comes up from the free safety spot to make the initial contact and quickly gets help from Dwayne Giles and several other Eagles. It'll be 2nd down and 10. Terry Hogue picked up from the New Orleans Saints.
Mike Reichenbach says he's the other pair of eyes out there. Tells him what to do, helps him pick up the signals, helps him make defensive calls.
4-year man from Georgia. to the right. Cosby a little movement. Dorsett has some running room. Gets inside the 10-yard line. It'll be a Dallas first and goal. 13 yards on the play.
You'll see the movement here on the left side. Now, why aren't there any flags? The defensive man jumped off. You saw on the right, okay, Cosby moved, but he moved backwards. Now, you're allowed motion away from the line of scrimmage. And he's a tight end. He didn't have his hand down, so therefore it wasn't an illegal motion penalty.
It may indeed have caught the Eagles' attention nonetheless, and Dorsett went out the other side, found some running room. Landis jumped on top of Houston early. First and goal, Dallas. This is Dorsett again, and Dorsett inside the 5-yard line. Impressive opening series for the Dallas Cowboys. Wayne Giles tripped him up. And remember, as we pointed out, they have 2 rookies on their offensive line today. Jeff Zimmerman out of Florida, Kevin Gogan from Washington. And so far, the big youngsters, and use that term exactly, they're both over 300 pounds. They're doing just fine, thank you.
They've got 2 nicknames. Danny White, Zimmerman's called Zoom, and Gogan is called Go. So Go and Zoom are doing the job.
Second and goal, just outside the 5. Walker stopped at the line of scrimmage. Eagles seem to be keying on Walker because they haven't given him anything. Jerome Brown, the rookie tackle from Miami, on the stop.
That time, Zoom gets zoomed on the right top part of your screen. You're going to see Jerome Brown. You see him moving his foot. He fires right into Zimmerman, manages to fight the block off and stop Walker right now. Now, here's a little bit. You think he's not excited? Yes! Now, you get out of my way. I mean, they're in motion.
Third down. They're going to have more than a motion to stop the Cowboys on this series. Incomplete, intended for Renfro. And that'll bring up the field goal opportunity for the Dallas Cowboys.
It's an impressive drive by Dallas. Maybe they're just driven by dissension.
Well,
I mean, it's hard to, you sometimes get everybody pulling in one direction. The only place you have any peace is in between the white lines out there on the field. That could be the way it's going to be for the Cowboys. At least that's what it looks like so far this afternoon.
Tex Schramm said, hey, we've been a marked team for 20 years. What's different?
Hated for 20 years.
Roger Ruzek will attempt from the 13-yard line a 23-yard try. And he's got it. The Cowboys draw first blood at Veterans Stadium. One way to quiet a hostile crowd is to get on the scoreboard first. There's Herschel Walker. We had a chance to ask him this week about the Cowboys' unity and how he feels it's been effective.
And I know for myself, I think the guys here has got unity. The majority of the guys stayed out, and I think they're ready to play. I know for myself, I don't hold any grudges because the philosophy that I've always have told people is I want you to do what's best for you. And, for the guys that crossed, they did what was best for them because that's what's important. When it's all said and done, and you have to hold your head up and think about whether you're proud of yourself.
Well, a very mature point of view from Herschel Walker, not necessarily shared by all of his Dallas teammates, as we will be recounting through the course of this game. Roger Ruzek will now be kicking off, and Bobby Morris is the deep man for the Eagles. Ruzek from Weber State. Morris from the 5. Stopped inside the 15-yard line by Steve Diassi. And Randall Cunningham finally gets an offensive opportunity. The Cowboys used up 7:42 on the clock, and Cunningham will face this veteran defensive line with only Kevin Brooks, a youngster. Hegman, Lockhart, and Rohr. And in the secondary, a rookie on the right corner, Ron Francis, the number 2 pick of the Cowboys this year from Baylor. Spagnuolo in motion. Andrew Toney met at the line of scrimmage, got very little, if anything. Kevin Brooks on the hit. Offensively with Cunningham. Anthony Tony, pardon me, Keith Byers, and Mike Quick, Jackson, and Spagnola. You knew I was going to call him.
You said you weren't going to do that.
Here in Philadelphia. Darwin, Schreiber, Fury, Baker, and Conwell, the offensive line. Tony it is. Anthony Tony.
Chi-chi.
Second down at 11. Pretty good hole. Picks up 6 out to the 20-yard line. Ed Jones, number 72, made the stop. Byers coming off a second foot injury. Suffered that one in the senior year of college, and then again on the other foot this year in mini camp. Tampa Bay leading the Bears early at home.
I really think conditioning overall is going to be a problem. Now, Chicago's down in Tampa Bay, and it can get pretty hot down there, so it could be very interesting to see how this develops throughout the whole league this afternoon.
Byers came out, appeared to have been hurt on that last play, leaving a 3rd and 5 after his game. Cunningham from the shotgun.
Cunningham right in the middle. Now what's going to happen is the Cowboys have put in 3 defensive linemen, 7 defensive backs, and they just can't put enough pressure. You see Jeffcoat being ridden down inside. Now Cunningham comes up and puts a move on Victor Scott and just flat out runs him. This is going to be the biggest concern for Dallas's defense today. How do you contain somebody who runs as well as Randall Cunningham?
Jesse Penn forced him out of bounds, but a first down Eagles at their own 28-yard line. Tom Landry acknowledged to us that that's the difficulty. The running ability of Cunningham puts a lot of pressure on the linebackers to keep them contained. Play action, out to Quick. Quick makes a good catch, has another first down.
This is your basic quick screen. You see Everson Walls in coverage. He takes 2 steps up, comes back. Cunningham makes a fake in the backfield. Now, once he misses it, twice he misses it. Now he gets a handle on it, and the ball seems to be bouncing in his direction. That's always a big, important play for a wide receiver. Get your hands on the ball early, get hit early, and get in the game.
Well, Mike Quick dragged 2 defenders, finally stopped by Bates. First down, Eagles. This is Byers. Gets a couple over the 50 into Dallas territory. 3-0 Cowboy lead, first period here at Bet Stadium.
You'll notice the Cowboys doing a lot of shifting, not only in the past few plays, but all afternoon, trying to confuse Randall Cunningham. So I wouldn't be surprised to see Eagles come out and go on quick counts to try and get that Cowboy defense settled down so the guys up front know who to block. There they are lined up now. They're in the basic 46 defense. And now they're not going to shift, which is only typical.
Byers. First down, Eagles at the Cowboys' 39-yard line. Michael Downs and Everson Walls, the last man, had to make the stop.
This is just some great running. All you're going to do is see Byers go to his right. It's a simple sweep. Gets great blocks from Conwell, Spagnola, and Baker on the left side of the screen. He just cuts it up inside. Does an excellent job of running. One of the things that you lose when you take some time off is technique, and technique equates to tackling. And that's got to be, what we saw right there was a poor execution of tackling. There's some of the shifting up front.
First down at the 40-yard line. Early movement, flags everywhere. Gene Bart, the referee.
Encroachment, 99 defense.
Kevin Brooks gets the call. Randy White was right there with him on the jump. So the Eagles get a freebie, 1st and 5, now at the 35-yard line. One of the things about the Eagles that impressed Coach Buddy Ryan when they returned was the fact that he felt they were in excellent shape. They gave him a series of tests to see what kind of shape they were in. He said it was phenomenal how excited he was to see them in that, not just a good mental frame of mind, but physically fit. 1st and 5. Drop for Cunningham. Drop for a sack by Kevin Brooks back at the 41-yard line of the the Cowboys, the third-year man from Michigan, Kevin Brooks.
Well, you know, the Eagles' offense gave up 104 sacks last year. I'm sure they don't want to fall into that same type of a pattern. It has a combination to do with the line being able to block and Randall Cunningham being able to unload the football when he doesn't see a receiver downfield. There you see last season's per-game sacks allowed 6.5. Through the first two, only 3.5.
Second and 11. Cunningham, complete to Mike Quick, and he slipped, but he picked up first down yardage. Tried to turn back inside. Ron Francis lost his footing. 12 yards on the game.
This is a perfect pass against a blitzing defense. You see everybody, all Britain coming on the outside. It's a full blitz. Now it's just one-on-one. Cunningham does an excellent job, puts the ball right where it should be. Quick trying to dance a little bit. Wound up on the ground. We're break dancing down there.
Mike Quick talked about a pumped-up guy in a calm fashion, but clearly a guy waiting for this game, eager to get going again with good feelings about the team unity obtained by the Eagles during the strike period. First down, Philadelphia. In and out of the hands of Spagnuolo. Might have been tipped by Lockhart. Lockhart had his hand in, whether it went off his fingers or Spagnuolo's, we're not sure, but Lockhart bothered Spagnuolo for sure.
And Cunningham just sets and fires this one. Gets excellent protection. You see Randy White down on the ground. Lockhart gets his finger right out in front and just tips it away from Spag.
Second down.
He put some heat on that one.
10th play of this drive as the Eagles almost duplicating the Cowboys' effort on their opening series. They have the 2nd and 10 at the 30-yard line. Junior Tatalatazi is in for Myers. The pass to Tatalatazi picks up about 7 inside the 15-yard line. He'll spot it at the 14. Mike Hegman, the linebacker, number 58, made the tackle.
Again, we see the quick drop, quick release by Cunningham. This will help the confidence of the offensive line and also the young man's confidence to be able to get the ball off against a pressure defense.
3 new defenders come on for the Cowboys, including 2 extra backs. And the Eagles have 3 wide receivers on the field. 4 make it. Inside handout. Tony. Good defensive reaction by the Cowboys. A flag down on the play as Tony was very close to the required first down yardage.
The whole right side of the Eagle offense took off.
Jesse Penn on the tackle.
We had a false start on number 79, the right tackle. Before the snap, the play doesn't count. 5-yard penalty.
Joe Conwell, number 79, picked up from the 49ers a year ago.
See the left side of your screen, the first man in is Joe Conwell. It's tough to be able to get the kegs out. There's the movement, especially when you're in the shotgun. I mean, everybody is anticipating. The offensive linemen are trying to concentrate on their blocks, and now you've got all kinds of added noise, and you don't have to figure out which one's the quarterback's. I used to tell the linemen, look at the ball, and they said, you want me to look at the ball, you want me to look at the guy to block? I said, look at the guy to block.
Third down, about 9.5 required. Good protection for Cunningham, the ball overthrown. Intended for Greg Garrity, number 86. Double coverage on him in the end zone from Bates and Victor Scott. So it'll be 4th down. The Cowboys defensively holding out the Eagles from penetration down to the so-called red zone inside the 20 and making a longer field goal try for McFadden. They'll spot it at the 36-yard line, a 46-yard attempt for Paul McFadden. He's got it. We are tied at 3 in Philadelphia.
There's John Telchik, the holder, and Paul McFadden. Now, this is the direction that he'll be able to get the longest field goals off, and this one is the longest of the year for him. Now he gets it up. Look at that pose. It's good. Now this is what I don't understand. You know, if you're short, everybody just bangs you in the head. Boom, 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 boom.
How tall are you, Joe?
Well, I was 6'2" till I had a lineman banging me around. Now I'm 6 feet tall. McFadden's going to be 5'8" after this afternoon if he kicks many more field goals.
Well, he entered the game at 5'11", but you're right. Everybody else is looking down at him.
You know, all the big guys, they pat each other on the shoulder. Kickers and little receivers and quarterbacks, they bang in the head.
McFadden's kickoff into the end zone. Kelvin Edwards will bring it out. Flag down on the kickoff play. Kelvin Edwards, I'm sure will have some news from the special teams coach that he shouldn't have brought that out from 5 yards deep on a high kickoff. Jonathan Dumball made the technical out. Let's see who the...
On a play upfield, number 54. 5-yard penalty from the end of the run.
Linebacker Alonzo Johnson just activated this week to work on the special teams. He's a reserve linebacker from Florida, the number 3 pick a year ago. Tampa Bay has opened a 14-zip lead over the Chicago Bears.
Well, hold it. I guess it's not against the Eagles.
Now they've marched it off against Dallas. They did signal against the Eagles. Gene Barth did. So strike that from your record and from Alonzo Johnson's. It's against the Cowboys and backs them up to the 11-yard line. Well, this veteran stadium crowd of Eagles fans loves defense, and they know this is a great opportunity for the Eagles here.
The Dallas Cowboys have just called timeout. They had a terrible time figuring out who was going to be in the ball game.
We'll be back with the score tied at 3. Tim Ryan and Joe Theismann, 36 seconds left in the first period. And Joe, how do you explain a circumstance like the Cowboys just had there, having to take a timeout?
Well, what happens is you get a change of possession, and they still have to take a timeout and waste the timeout. They just had mass confusion on the sidelines of who was supposed to be in the football game. Not a good sign of consistency or continuity.
That is not Dallas-style football. First down from their 11. Walker breaks a tackle. Made the saving block on Walker at the 49-yard line of the Eagles.
What can you say? Danny White takes the snap from center, turns around, simple sweep left with Newsom leading up inside, hands it off to Herschel Walker. Now he makes the turn, and he actually gets tackled. Now this was one thing that concerned Buddy Ryan was, can we tackle Herschel Walker? This is just pure speed. You know, this guy entered the fastest man competition and ran a 60-yard dash in 6.272 seconds, which means he's real fast. That's what that means.
40 yards for Herschel Walker. First down, Dallas. Cosby, incomplete. Flag down after the ball was incomplete. A flag came out. A little low for Cosby. Twice now we've seen White have trouble getting the ball up, and the flag is going to be against the Cowboys.
Interference, number 80 offense, 10-yard penalty, still first down.
Offensive interference against Rod Barksdale, the acquisition in a deal this year from the Raiders that saw Ron Fellows, the cornerback, go to Los Angeles.
You know, the one thing Buddy Ryan really stressed as we talked in the last few days, Kim, was the tackling of his defensive unit. We're going to have to wrap our arms around Herschel Walker. He broke off 2 84-yarders against them last year. Had an incredible, you know, he rushed 6 times for 122 yards in the second game. Had 9 receptions for 170 yards. So he definitely has to be somebody they have to contend with.
First down and 20. Dorsett eludes the tackle, and he's got some running room. Reichenbach hauls him down out near the 50-yard line. They'll spot it just inside the Cowboy side of the 50. Mike Reichenbach, 6'2", 240-pounder. And as you pointed out earlier, they not only he gets the call from the sidelines defensively, but then he is making adjustments right up to the snap of the ball. So it takes a brainy linebacker to run it.
The easiest thing he has to do is get the signal from the sideline. It's when everything starts happening on the field that it gets complicated.
2nd and 11. Time winding down first period. That's complete to Walker, and he's dropped immediately. Number 20, Andre Waters, the strong safety. Picked up about 6 yards. It'll leave 3rd and 5 when we return to Veterans Stadium. At the conclusion of the first quarter, we're tied at 3. Tim Ryan with Joe Theismann at Veterans Stadium, Philadelphia. It is tied at 3 after the first quarter. 2 impressive offensive series. The first one by Dallas when they got the ball. Joe, they marched right down, came up with a field goal by Ruzek from 23 yards away, and then Philadelphia got their opportunity, did the same thing the other way, took a little longer field goal.
Just
by
a little bit, yeah.
You know, they stopped Walker 4 carries. His first 4 carries only 3 yards, but now he's broken loose again.
Well, he's the guy that they have to be concerned with. He's hurt them over the last couple of football games, and it doesn't seem like it's changing here. They have to concentrate on stopping and tackling Herschel Walker.
It is 3rd down, Cowboys in Eagle territory. Loose ball.
About the problem from the left side of your screen. You're going to see Reggie White come in. Danny's going to have to step up inside from the pressure from outside. Now that's White coming around the corner. He just gets a piece of Danny, and Jerome Brown gets the big bounce. But watch who's going to run him down. Herschel Walker saves the touchdown.
That was kind of a reverse straight arm that Brown used on Walker. That's interesting technique for a defensive lineman. What a thrill for this kid.
You know, you talk to these guys, and the one thing they do is they visualize that they're going to pick up the ball. Coming in, that's Reggie White coming in from the outside and just gets a hand on Danny White to upset him. Jerome gets the bound. Now he's dreaming. He's seeing 6 points. He's looking around to see who's chasing him. Did a smart thing from shifting the ball from his right hand to his left hand so it doesn't get knocked away.
Now the replay booth is taking a look at that play. Chuck Heberling is the replay official. Well, they decide whether or not White had thrown the ball forward. We'll find out momentarily, but let's take a look at it.
You see, he's got the ball in his right hand. Okay, now the ball just gets hit.
Yeah.
I mean,
no question.
Reggie White hit up. He never even got his hand. The ball never left his hip. That can't be ruled a pass.
You know, when I was talking to Jerome Brown in the Eagles locker room on Friday, he said, what would your fantasy game? Here you are, a rookie in the NFL. What would your fantasy be? He said, well, what I'd like to do is go in and rush the passer, knock the ball down, and intercept it and run for a score. Now, is that prescient or what? I mean, he almost accomplished that. It was just his teammate Reggie White who knocked it loose.
Now he's like a quarterback, right? Now he's carried the ball, go to the phone, talk to the people upstairs, get your picture on television a little bit more. I mean, the guy really, he may be a rookie, but he knows where to go on the field.
Eagles first down at the 15-yard line. Myers. Eugene Lockhart drove him out. He got to the 10, a gain of nearly 5.
Load on load. You got Byers at 230, Lockhart at 228. I think he's a little heavier than that. You get a pretty good collision.
Key game in the NFC West there. You saw San Francisco on top of New Orleans. Number 1 against number 2. We'll be tracking that for you. At halftime, we'll have all the scores and highlights. Brent Musburger in New York in the NFL today. 2nd and 6, Eagles threatening. Kenny Jackson, I mean, did he drill that football? On the coverage was Everson Walls. You got to have some hands to grab this one.
Well, you sure do. And this is the one thing that I've watched Randall Cunningham do. He sets, and he's getting such a quick release and such power. Ball's thrown, actually throws the ball the only place he could, a little bit behind Jackson. And the Eagles are very fortunate that the ball found the ground and not somebody in blue. Cowboys always get tough inside the 20.
3rd down. They need 6 for a first down. Would get them to the 5. Tried to flipped it off to Tony. Good coverage in the end zone by the Cowboys. Cunningham had time, could not find an open man, and then just kind of shoveled it to his release man. It'll be 4th down.
Well, you know, his first reaction was, I want to run with the football. So he started up to the left. Then he thought better of it because the hole closed and circled around. Then he reacted like a quarterback and just tried to dump the ball off. He was caught in the middle. Should I run? Should I pass? I can't tell you how many times I've had that same feeling when I was younger, when I could run.
Field goal try, McFadden from the 18-yard line. 28-yard attempt. And he missed it. McFadden, who connected from 46, missed kicking into the wind from 28. We're still tied at 3. Tim Ryan and Joe Theismann here in Philadelphia, where Paul McFadden has just missed a 28-yard field goal try for the Eagles. They come up empty. The score stands at 3. Meanwhile, the Chicago Bears at Tampa Bay, we've now got a 20-0 lead for Tampa Bay. We'll find out what's going on down there from Brent Musburger in just a moment. Cowboys, 1st and 10 from their 20. Newsom gets 2 out the left side. Let's go to Brent Musburger in New York.
Tim, we've got a shocker. Tampa Bay has scored 3 touchdowns on the Bears, 2 offensively and 1 here defensively. Holmes forces Tomczak to fumble in the end zone. Moss recovers. Bears do block an extra point, but it's the only positive thing they've done. They trail 20-0. Back to Tim.
Well, here in Philadelphia, Brent, we had a fumble on the last play that was not apparent until they started peeling off the bodies. Let's see what happens. It's Timmy Newsom.
It's on the inside handoff. You see Joyner come around, or Dwayne Giles come around, gets his hand on him. Now the ball gets stripped loose. You see Newsom trying to reach for it before he was on the ground.
And
Giles stripped it away.
Came up with the strip, and Clyde Simmons came up with the ball. Number 96, the right defensive end.
There you see Giles get his hand in. Now he's got his hand on the ball. The ball goes to the ground somewhere in that pileup. And as is the case, the officials let the guys wrestle it around to see who comes up with it. The Eagles did.
So the Eagles with their second fumble recovery in a matter of moments, but this time Cunningham is sacked. Second of the day at the 30-yard line, Eugene Lockhart, blitzing middle linebacker number 56. The loss back to the 30-yard line.
That's just a simple case of too many people coming through the door and not enough door to stop them. I mean, you only have 5 people up front. The Cowboys bring 4 plus their linebackers, 7, and then they brought a safety from the outside. You wind up with too many people. Cunningham's forced to stay in from contained by the outside backers and the safeties, and the middle linebacker closes in on them.
So it's 2nd and 18 for the Eagles. Cunningham intended for Byers, too high, and good coverage on him. It was Vince Albrecht, number 36, who put a pretty good lick on as the ball arrived, and had he caught it, he would have been dropped immediately. 49ers continue to lead 7-3, Atlanta over Houston.
You know, it's important here that the Eagles gain some composure. The Cowboys have been in this situation. They're a very veteran football team. It's important that Randall Cunningham settle down. If he's going to throw a completion, don't try and get all the yardage. Don't try and get 18. Maybe get 7, 8, 9 yards. Give McFadden a shot at another field goal, but come out with something positive.
Eagles come out on the spread. Quick little inside flip to Tony, and well covered by the Cowboys. Jeffco. And Danny Noonan, the rookie, number 1 pick from Nebraska. Good defensive work by Dallas. Brings up 4th down. Now McFadden had trouble here with the wind right directly in front of the post from 28 yards away after connecting in the other direction from 46. But as Joe Theismann pointed out, while the flags are blowing in this direction, it swirls around and blows at the field goal kicker.
I talked to McFadden before the game, and he said 45 is about the max you're going to be able to do it in this wind condition.
He's at it now, and he will be good.
He had it 45 and 1 foot.
About 45 and 1 inch. The Philadelphia Eagles have taken a 6-3 lead with 13:03 to go in the first half. Paul McFadden's 45-yard field goal following the fumble by Timmy Newsome, recovered by Clyde Simmons of the Eagles. The second fumble by the Cowboys. Danny White dropped the other one. And the big rookie, Brown, took it all the way 37 yards before being hauled down from behind by Herschel Walker, and McFadden missed a 28-yard field goal attempt. Telchik will kick it off. The punter used on the kickoffs now by the Eagles. It comes down at the 12-yard line. Darryl Clack has it. Shakes out the tackle. Good return for Darryl Clack, and a flag down as he was tackled at the 33-yard line. Bobby Morse made the hit on Darryl Clack, the second-year man from Arizona State.
Illegal block in the back. Number 71 during the run back. 10-yard penalty. It'll be a first down.
Illegal block charged against the Cowboys, and it was number 71, Mark Tuanay. Brings him back to the 21-yard line. Well, college football activity continues here on CBS Sports next Saturday. You'll see number 9 ranked Syracuse against Pittsburgh, and Syracuse at 7-0. Their big upset of Penn State last week, and a walloping job over Colgate yesterday. First down, Dorsett. It's out to the 25-yard line. Mike Pitts, number 74, acquired in a deal from Atlanta this year, made the stop.
You know, Pittsburgh is the only team to beat Notre Dame this year, Tim.
Yes, I do realize that. You and I probably realize that ahead of some other people.
Both of us being graduates. And also, you know, Ken Clark's out of Syracuse. Jerry Feary's out of Syracuse. Of course, Tony Dorsett and Matt Calvin are both out of Pittsburgh.
They'll all be watching the game on Saturday next. 2:30 Eastern Time here on CBS. Second and 8. Danny White complete to Cosby. First down, Dallas, to their 32-yard line. Seth Joyner, the linebacker, had the coverage, number 59. Cosby, one of the more outspoken Cowboys about the dissension in the ranks during this past week, with the regulars coming back and having to share, some of them having to share lockers with replacement players, and he's not happy about it at all.
Well, you know, as is the case so often, the players sort of get caught in the middle. Yes, they made their own bed by going out, but they just really want to come back and play football. They'd like to put the strike and all the things that have been said behind them, but I don't think the players in the league are going to let it go that easy, or even on their own football team.
First down, Dallas. Renfro in motion, and problems for White.
Delay game, 5-yard penalty.
Used up the 30-second clock.
Well, what happened in that instance is Renfro was set up outside of Herschel Walker. A little bit of an unusual formation. We also talked about the Cowboys trying to move Herschel Walker around in a lot of different positions. That time Renfro didn't get in motion enough, and he wound up using up the 30 seconds. Also, I might add, in the stadium, they usually have 30-second clocks posted right near the goalpost areas. It doesn't appear that the 30-second clocks are working up top, but they are down close to the field. There it is, just to the left of your, just to the left shoulder of the defensive guy.
Cowboys are stuffed on 1st and 15. They lose 2 more. Reichenbach making the stop on Walker. It'll be second down and about 18 now for the Cowboys.
You know, the one thing that we've noticed, I believe, in watching the Eagles defense, even through the first quarter, is they're gaining more and more confidence. It's an aggressive defense anyway, and they're just feeling better about what they can do.
Deep drop for White. Got a man open. Banks. First down, Dallas to the 45-yard line. Linebacker coming back to make the hit, Wayne Giles. Banks found some open space.
A lot of credit to that offensive line of the Cowboys. We talked about the youth of them. Danny White will take the snap. He'll work down. He's looking back, seeing where Terry Hogue is going to go. He notices it's a zone. Now he does puts a great throw out. Right over the linebacker's head, right to Banks. That's just excellent execution. Now, Reggie White is the man that wanted a piece of Danny White, and the challenge has been placed in Gogan's hands, and also is Reggie White in Gogan's hands. Who's got who?
316-pound rookie from Washington did the job on White. First down, and that is in and out of the hands of Cosby. Coverage by the linebacker Reichenbach. It'll be 2nd and 10 from the 45-yard line of Dallas. They trail 6-3. 5:18 and counting down. Let's make it 9:18, pardon me. One of the lights is out over there on the scoreboard. 9 minutes, 18 seconds left.
Signals coming in from Steve Pallur and Paul McDonald.
Danny White, calm attitude about coming out here today. Veteran with all the turmoil, just want to play football. Dorsett to the 36-yard line of the Eagles. Andre Waters forced him out. Joe, they've had success running that left side wide.
Well, what happens here is White's going to fake into the line of scrimmage. Anytime Herschel Walker is getting near the ball, he gets a whole lot of people looking at him. He swings it out to Dorsett, and Tony just turns the speed on. Gets the lineman out front, gets 2-A out there, Zimmerman out in front of him making some blocks, picks up a lot of yardage.
First down. Cowboys at the 37-yard line, and you can see offensively Dallas has had the better of it, but they trail on the scoreboard with 2 turnovers. Walker's not had much luck inside, but he has had success running wide to the left.
You know, his greatest asset, 2 greatest assets are his power, the way he runs so low with his knees down and his shoulders bent over. He's a hard target to hit. And also when he gets in the open, his extreme explosion into second gear. Tremendous speed coming out of the blocks.
It'll be 2nd and a long 6 for the Cowboys. In Eagles territory at the 34-yard line. White under pressure, screen pass to Dorsett. Good defensive play by the Eagles. Terry Hogue made the tackle. Philadelphia read it well, and they chased White way back before he could make his screen pass.
Well, that was a set-up screen, except when you get the Eagles front coming at you like that, you know, the offensive line's supposed to block 1-1,000, 2-1,000, release the lineman, and then get out into screen. That was sort of like a half of a second, release and go. I mean, Danny did a great job just getting the ball off.
Well, that might be the effect of 2 rookies in there as you look at Terry Hogue make the hit. Gogan and Zimmerman. 3rd down and 4. Big play here. First kind of significant play of this first half. Cowboys trail 6-3 in Eagles territory. White fumbled the snap, gets it off, and it's almost picked off. Diving block by William Frizzell, number 33. The pass intended for Gordon Banks. So the Eagles come up big defensively.
That's just a timing route. Danny White back to the right of your screen. Now, the ball's going to come in low. If he catches this clean, sets and throws, that ball's probably going to get in. He has to bounce it around on the ground a little bit. Then he makes his set and fires the ball upfield, but it gives the defense a time to react to the ball.
It'll be a 49-yard attempt for Roger Luzek. The wind with him. This is an excited young team.
The interception is legal. We have illegal forward pass on the second flip. 5-yard penalty. It's still Eagles ball.
come right up the middle. McDonald gets it down, but that ball is blocked right up the middle. Now Hogue picks it up. Clyde Simmons got his hands on it. Jeff roared. Look at the speed of that linebacker. Gary Cobb running him down. Makes the move, turns inside. Hogue now will turn around, find somebody to give the ball to. Says, here, which one of you guys wants it? Frizzell gets it. He starts down the field.
Eagles with another scoring opportunity. Fires. Lockhart and Kenny Jackson do a little shoving. Billy Bates gets into things. And we'll see that illegal forward lateral on the return of the blocked field goal try.
Back where we were, there's Purcell. If he'd have let it go, he'd have been all right, and then he just pushes it out front to him. You can't do that.
Russell Gary, as you can see there, was downfield of Frizzell, and so the ball went forward. But nonetheless, a huge play.
Bad blood. You don't have a lot of liking between the two teams, and it's going to be up to Gene Barth and his crew to keep a lid on this game.
We have a timeout on the field with third down and short. Eagles threatening. Tim Ryan and Joe Theismann, we've had lots of excitement at Veterans Stadium here with a blocked field goal having set up the Eagles down now at the 10-yard line of Dallas. Here's what happened. You've got Simmons and Reggie White in the middle, the two big guys clogging it up. It would appear from here, Joe, that Simmons got his right hand on it. And the ball came to Terry Hogue, who ran it all the way down to the Dallas 20 with a couple of laterals thrown in for good measure. Play action. Cunningham wide open. Touchdown, Spagnola.
This is what happens when you have a running quarterback. Now, Cunningham has taken the line to Byers. They know how well Randall Cunningham runs, so the Cowboys react to him running. Forget about Spagnola heading downfield. Cunningham just dumps it out nice and slow and easy like. 6 points Eagles.
Selchuk holds for McFadden. He has the extra point. And the Philadelphia Eagles, with 66,000 cheering them on, take a 10-point lead.
Randall Cunningham over the center. Now he's going to fake into the line, but Bill Bates has contained. They know Cunningham can run. You have to be conscious. Now, you see the fake away. Now Bates starts to come outside to keep Cunningham, and he makes an opening, a very easy opening for Spagnola to get in the end zone.
Back live on a short kickoff. Returned by Thornton Chandler, reserve tight end, and again more pushing and shoving going on down there. That is Alonzo Johnson, linebacker number 54. So the pumped-up Philadelphia Eagles, who have taken a 13-3 lead, will be at St. Louis. They have 5 consecutive Eastern Division games, this being the first of them. And also Washington, arch rival in the division, will be at Buffalo. New Orleans will be at Atlanta. All these key games on CBS, followed by the doubleheader action, the Rams and the 49ers, NFC West rivalry. First down. Dorsett met just over the line of scrimmage, straightened up by Jerome Brown, the rookie from Miami, who returned the block field goal, 37 yards. Not the field goal, pardon me, the fumble recovery earlier. 37 yards, setting up an opportunity for McFadden on his field goal that he missed.
You know, a footnote on that scheduling, Tim, is that the Eagles are going to play 4 of those 5 games at home. And these fans are falling in love with their Eagles again, so it's going to be interesting to see how they play in this division.
Gain of about a half yard for Dorsett on the spot. White, incomplete, intended for Cosby. Tight coverage on him by the linebacker, Dwayne Giles, number 53. You know, now I think is going to be the real test of these Cowboys coming into the game. All of the talk about the unity of the Eagles, the excitement, the newfound confidence, ready to play, terrific relationship with Buddy Ryan. Conversely, the Cowboys with 20 replacements still there, some dissension within the ranks made clear by both the players and even the front office situation. Now, the Cowboys find themselves down 10-3. Turnovers hurting them. Let's see if they can suck it up here and get it back together. Great catch at the sideline, complete. Renfro, first down at the Eagles' 44.
Danny White doing everything he has to do to make the throw. Renfro will stop at the sidelines, plant his feet. The ball is the only place it could be, and yes, it is a completion. Drags both his toes down.
That is a great catch and a great pass by White. Had to throw it outside the defender, obviously, and that was just perfect. 13-3, Eagles lead. And meanwhile, the Bears have scored twice now to get back into their contest after trailing 20-0. They're now at 2014.
They were just hibernating a little bit.
Cosby in motion out of the backfield. Quick pass to him. He's got it. Gain of 4 to the 40-yard line of the Eagles. Andre Waters on the tackle.
Danny White doing an excellent job of getting rid of the football, reading the blitz. Terry Hogue coming right up the pipe at him. Just dumps the ball out, saves a big sack, winds up with a 4-yard completion.
Danny White, 35 years of age. He's had plenty of success. He's heard the boos. He heard them as recently as last week. And he is bringing his Cowboys right downfield here with that big play to Renfro, 2nd and 6 from the 40. Blitzing linebackers drop him. Reichenbach led the charge. Seth Joyner, number 59, with him. 2nd sack by the Eagles.
That time, Danny White went to the audible. You see him at he's at the line of scrimmage making an audible call, but here comes everybody up the middle. There just isn't anybody to block. He couldn't set, although he knew he had to get rid of the ball quick. He still didn't have enough time with Reichenbach coming up the middle for the pressure. Ball bounces loose from him, but fortunately he lands on top of it. He said one thing he was going to do in this football game, and that was to keep his helmet on.
Even on the sidelines.
Even on the sidelines.
3rd down, 14. Loose ball, down, Dallas ball. At the 12-yard line, Timmy Newsom. Well, you live by that 46 blitzing defense, and sometimes you die with it.
But that time they were in a zone. If they blitzed them last time. Here they only rush 4 people. The Eagles only bring the front 4. Danny White showing why he's been such a great pro. Puts the ball up against the zone defense. Newsom going down the middle. Now the ground cannot cause a fumble. You see when he hits the ground, the ball comes loose. That simply means the ball is down there. Not a fumble. But the Eagles went against what they normally do, and that's blitz and put a lot of pressure on the quarterback.
Evan Cooper finally made the upsetting tackle. First down, Dallas, 17 of the Eagles. Dorsett runs into traffic. Loss of 2. Reggie White. Traffic acting up.
Reggie White?
Yeah.
That's a traffic jam.
A flag on the play. Reggie White just knocked people backwards. Well, now is there a flag down or not? No, no flag.
Now, a lot of times when a player throws the ball down, they look to the referee the other team looks for the referee for a delay of game penalty. It's in the books, but it's not called very often. Coach Landry looking at his play sheet, talking upstairs to Paul Hackett, his offensive coaches.
Danny White on target, 13 and 17. 2nd and 12 from the 20. Complete to Banks inside the 5. 1st and goal from the 2-yard line. Great execution by White and Banks on that play.
Great execution by Danny White just to get it off. There's Terry Ho coming right up the pipe. Just does get the ball out. Now, Albert Fowles is not looking for the ball. Gordon Banks makes an exceptional catch.
Dallas on the doorstep when we return. Tim Ryan and Joe Theismann, 2 minutes to play, second period at Veterans Stadium. And you see the Dallas Cowboys with 2 timeouts left to go are on the doorstep at the 4-yard line, make it the 3-yard line of Philadelphia. First and goal on a beautiful play from White to Gordon Banks for the first down. Walker met at the line of scrimmage. A host of Eagles. Seth Joyner leading the charge, number 59. Yeah, let's see where they spot it. Maybe a loss. Certainly no gain on the play. Second and goal.
The Cowboys continuing to run. Even down here, they're running into the same problem, being able to run the football on 1st and 10. They've not been able to move the ball or gain very much yardage on 1st and 10 via the ground. It's all been in the air.
Flag down in the end zone. Interference will likely be the call against the Eagles. You can see Andre Waters protesting.
Defensive holding, number 50. Half the distance to the goal line.
Gary Cobb, number 50, an extra linebacker in this defensive situation, is labeled as the culprit. That'll march the ball in half the distance, and that's a yard and a half.
More importantly, it's going to give them a 1st and 10. Instead of a 3rd down and 3, they wind up now with 4 more downs to try and pound it in.
Ball spotted just inside the 2.
Walker.
And the Cowboys have closed the margin up. In the final 2 minutes of this first half, we've got 1:22 remaining. Tom Landry said the game is played out there on the field. No matter what emotions or feelings you bring in, you got to do it out on the field. Roger Ruzek will attempt the point after. And he's got it. The Cowboys have cut the margin back to 3. 13-10 Philadelphia. 1:22 to play first half.
Over and up and in. Now you see the lines go nose to nose, and they give him an opportunity right in the middle of the line to hurdle over. The defense, Reggie, looked like Clyde Simmons or Jerome Brown stuck his hand in, almost got a piece of the ball, but after he breaks the plane, it doesn't matter. It's still a touchdown.
Air Walker that time for Dallas, and
Air Walker, huh?
They have got it down to 3. Ruzek will kick it off as the shadows lengthen over the playing surface here at Veterans Stadium. 1:22 remaining in the first half. Well played first half. High, short kickoff comes down at the 15-yard line. Evan Cooper got out over the 20 and then was driven back. They'll spot it out close to the 22. Well, as we approach halftime, a reminder that on the NFL Today, Brent Musburger will bring you up to date with scores and highlights along with Irv Cross and a special roundtable entitled Back to Reality. Some of the players who were on the replacement teams but are now back doing other things. You'll see Tim Ross, a fireman who had a look with Detroit. Miles Turpin, the shuttle bus driver, had his time with Tampa Bay. And Gary Bolden, well, we'll let them tell you about Gary Bolden. He's going back to yet another tough occupation. First down, Eagles. Screen pass for Tamalatazi. pickup of 4. Everson Walls made the tackle.
Randall Cunningham now getting a chance to work on his 2-minute drill. This is one of those situations in a ball game that a quarterback can really help his football team. You can't make a mistake here. If nothing else, don't throw an interception and give the Cowboys a shot in the arm.
In and out of his hands, it appeared. Don't know what happened there, Joe. It looked like the ball was there. Let's have a look at it.
The ball is there. Now, Cunningham sets. You see quick from the right of your screen crossing. Now, Bates breaks on the ball. You see Bill Bates coming in. He thinks it's in front, but the ball just sneaks away from him. Now, remember, Cunningham is throwing in the direction into the wind. It does funny things with the football. I wouldn't be surprised if that was like a little slider to quit.
I think you're right, Joe. It appeared on the replay that was exactly the case. It just kind of blew away as the receiver quick reach for him. Flush from the pocket. Cunningham will run it and gets to the 35-yard line, short of the first down. Jesse Penn, number 59, the linebacker, made a tackle there. The third-year man from Virginia Tech. 4th down, 28 seconds remain. And timeout is called by Dallas as they see the opportunity here to perhaps get another pop at the Eagles' end zone. They have 1 timeout remaining. So the Cowboys, if there were some doubts about team unity and whether they'd be fired up, everybody's saying the Eagles were, and that's been evidenced today. The Cowboys obviously very much in this football game and playing with a lot of enthusiasm of their own.
Well, you know, if you're going to have the kind of strife that the Cowboys have had, it's best to have it on a veteran football team because the emotions aren't quite as high. They're not maybe as affected by outside things or things that go on in the locker room once they get out on the football field. It could be more devastating to a young team like the Eagles. We're seeing that kind of a game this afternoon.
You've got a tough, competitive, real NFL football game going here. We're happy to report. 13-10. Eagles lead it. First punt of the game. A low snap. Telchik just gets it away. And a good kick. Takes an Eagles bounce. Out of bounds at the 13-yard line of Dallas. 19 seconds remaining. So the Cowboys have a long way to come. A 52-yard punt by Telchik.
Cowboys called timeout so they could get pressure on Telchik, a good athlete. Does a fine job of fielding the ball and getting it off. Never lifts his head. Doesn't check the rush, concentrates on the ball and gets it away. And then gets a little luck with the bounce, I might add.
Telchik, reject of the Chicago Bears. And Buddy Ryan, of course, knew him from the Bear trial and grabbed him, and he's done a good job for the Eagles. First down. Cowboys. Down by 3. Newsom over the 20-yard line. They'll spot it at the 21.
And they're going to let it run down. They're going to go into the halftime only trailing by 3.
A tight, tense, exciting battle here at Veterans Stadium. The Philadelphia Eagles 13, the Dallas Cowboys 10.
CBS Sports coverage of the National Football League is sponsored by Cadillac Motor Car Company. Discover why the only way to travel is Cadillac style. Castrol, the motor oil engineered for today's smaller cars. And by Hewlett-Packard, computer solutions from the people who never stop asking, what if?
More than they did last year when the team was kind of being chopped apart by him.
Well, you know, you have to get familiar. Buddy wanted to set the tone. One of the biggest cuts he made was Ron Jaworski. But he simply said, I have to make this Randall Cunningham's football team, and the only way I can do it is if this young man's going to be able to show himself is to get rid of Jaws. It wasn't because of money. It was simply because you needed a football team led by the young guy who was going to be here for a while.
Exactly. Well, you know, yesterday, one of the fun things watching about that enthusiasm is the players looking at pictures in this program. This is today's program here for Philadelphia, and inside there is a feature on what the coaches look like in their playing day. Some of them go back quite a ways. Well, here's Buddy Ryan today, a shot we saw him
on the field, and this is the way he looked years ago when he was a college football player, and there he is today. This shot taken right before the ball game by our cameraman, and the players were getting a kick. They were riding those guys.
Is that really the same guy?
Hard to believe, isn't it? But nonetheless, I think the important ingredient for the Eagles is their sense of unity and purpose, and the fact that they're growing as Buddy Ryan's football team.
Well, also, the Cowboys have shown today that they can hang together in spite of all the strife, and I think that's a sign of a veteran football team.
I think that's exactly what we're seeing, and we just had talked about, can they suck it up and bring themselves back, and bing. It was Danny White popping them down the field to get them back to within 3. We're ready for the second half of play here at Philadelphia. The Eagles lead by 3. Sharp shooting by Danny White of the Cowboys, 14 of 18, has kept the Cowboys in it despite 2 turnovers and a blocked field goal suffered by the Cowboys. Eagles receive. It is Bobby Morse, hit hard at the 15-yard line. Bill Bates, number 40, making the initial contact. Well, we talked about Danny White's personal stats, 14 of 18. You can see he's rolled up 162 yards in the first half, and he has been razor sharp, Joe.
Well, he has, but also what you notice is the yards passing in favor of the Cowboys. Obviously, they can't run the football. I don't think they'll be able to this afternoon, or the rest of the ball game this second half. But the one thing that the Eagles are going to have to do is mount some offense. 81 yards in the first half is not enough to carry your football team. You can't hope to win it just with the defense. So this series is very important to the Eagle offense.
Cunningham 6 of 12 in the first half with a touchdown pass. He fired, ran into his own man. And Everson Walls drives him out. It'll be a gain of maybe 2 yards, and there are those first half stats we just alluded to. 174 yards in the air for White. Cunningham 52 yards.
But a lot of really key completions by Danny White. Cunningham not put in a situation where he has to make the big ones. White completing a third down in 18, a third down in 17. Some really big key plays for Danny White in the first half.
Second down and 8. Eagles opening the second half. Quick drop and pass, dropped by Kenny Jackson. The ball was there. Jackson eager to turn upfield to get to the first down marker, and he just dropped it.
You know, Eagles really had some great opportunities. Dallas is 15, Dallas is 22, Dallas is 9, and all they come away with is 10 points. Now you might say, gee, that's all, but they did miss that crucial field goal. When they've had the ball, they've moved it into pretty good position. Both teams have only punted the ball 1 time in the first half, I might add as well, which means that their offenses have taken charge of the game.
Yeah, in fact, no, Dallas has yet to punt. Saxon has not punted yet for Dallas. 4 receivers in, but Cunningham is dropped inside the 10 by Randy White. Randy White with a sore leg and a sore neck and putting sore things on other people out there as usual.
Well, there's Randy White to the right of your screen. He's just going to make his move. You see him come around. That's a big trick. Ed Jones over the center. The twisting and tricking up front, confusing the Eagle offensive line. Randy makes that big loop and gets his hands on Cunningham.
Telchik will have to punt from his end zone. Takes a Cowboy bounce and down by the Eagles at about their 35. So Dallas with excellent field position to start this second half. Jody Schultz grabbed the ball and downed at a 27-yard punt for Telchik. And the Cowboys, as you can see, did not have the same good fortune with field position as the Eagles did in the first half, but they certainly have it now.
Nor did they have the results. Field goal, fumble, blocked field goal. Then they scored the TD just before halftime. All things considered, they're very fortunate to be only 3 points behind.
The 33-yard line of Philadelphia. Walker runs into traffic, and he is stopped after a gain of maybe 2. Seth Joyner made the stop.
That time he was a man looking for a place to hide. The Eagle defense reacting to Herschel Walker, knowing how he could hurt him. All flowed towards the sidelines. He turned around, they turned around.
Interesting to hear Danny White talking about Tony Dorsett, saying, you know, all credit to Herschel Walker. We have an injured player, Andre Waters, on the field for the Eagles. All credit to Walker, who's a tremendous talent. He said, I still think
Tony Dorsett is the best running back in the game. And he just feels his skills of his quickness and his vision. That was interesting. How well he sees the field are just assets most runners don't have.
His anticipation also of knowing where to make the cut, sort of one step ahead of the defense, knowing they're going to flow so he can cut back to a hole. Still, you know, after 11 years, he's still a premier running back. And I don't believe he's lost that much of a step. You know, you don't see him in the fastest man competition, but we've seen him go the distance, 99 yards in ball games. A lot of contests I've stood on the sidelines, and hopefully he would trip somewhere along the way, but he'd gain a lot of yardage. When we played against the Cowboys when I was a Redskin, our biggest concern was stopping Tony Dorsett.
Andre Waters still down out there, and it appears his leg is getting some treatment as we look at Tony, and you can see very much he wants to catch Jim Brown. That's obviously a very possible goal for him, and had some feelings about not wanting to run in the replacement games. Thought those statistics would be phony ones, not real NFL stats, but he was handed the ball and picked up yardage. On the season, he's got 243 yards. And there you see Dorsett can certainly catch Franco and Jim Brown. Very realistic goal. Walter Payton, well, who knows? Tony's 33 years old.
That's like trying to catch Father Time.
Russell Gary into the ball game for Andre Waters. Second down and 8, Cowboys. Herschel Walker stuffed in the middle. He has not had a whole lot of success trying the middle. Jerome Brown, the big rookie from Miami, and Seth Joyner. Brown, what an enthusiastic young man he is. And he said Reggie White kind of sponsored him when he arrived as a rookie #1 pick this year, and Reggie took him under his wing and said, well, Reggie's my idol, I like that. But he asked him last week, who's your idol? He says, well, this week it's Ken Clark.
Yeah, he's going for an idol of the week. It's changed his whole philosophy a little bit.
He's a terrific kid. Plays the keyboards, and he's teaching Mike Quick how to play the keyboards right in the locker room. Third down and 7. White. Complete. Kelvin Edwards. First down, Dallas. And they're now at the Eagles' 17-yard line.
I'm sure the Eagles are aware of Kelvin Edwards and what he did last time they played, even though it was a replacement game. White just, here goes Hogue up the middle again. White just sets in the pocket, makes the throw. They're all timing routes. Kelvin Edwards goes down 10 yards, stops, turns around, and Danny White puts the ball right where it should be.
Well, Danny had some good things to say about Kelvin Edwards. He likes what he's seen of this young man. Edwards, a 4th pick of the Saints last year, but released in training camp this year. Walker gets a little more running room and carries a couple of Eagles with him close to the 10-yard line.
Little misdirection. You'll see Danny White set behind him as Timmy Newsome. Fakes to the fullback going one way, bring it back to Herschel Walker inside. Rafferty slips down, or else he'd had a bigger hole. Reichenbach gets a tackle on, the safeties come in and hit him, and then everybody hits him.
Hogue, Waters, and Simmons all required to stop Herschel Walker on that one. 2nd and 5. Cowboys after the short Eagles punt in good field position. Walker tripped up behind the line. Ken Clark, number 71, got a hand on him to slow him up. And then Reichenbach arrived with Joyner. Gain of less than a yard for Walker on that one.
Well, you know, we've talked all day. I think the Cowboys are really running the football just because you're supposed to. They haven't gained many yards except the one Herschel Walker broke earlier in the first half. They probably have an average 1 or 2 yards on first down. They put Danny White in a 3rd down and long situation most of the afternoon, and he's come up with big plays.
White from the shotgun. Sideline and Cosby complete. Driven out by Gary Cobb, close to another Dallas first down. It'll be just short. 4th and a half yard for the Cowboys at the 7-yard line of the Eagles.
It's an interesting decision by Tom Landry. He's going to go for the 3 points. He's not going to try and risk it. I guess he learned his lesson against the Giants a few weeks ago when they tried to go for it on 4th down. They didn't make it. They got stuffed.
But you're not implying that you'd be going for it here.
Sure, why not? Yeah. Well,
I don't know. 10:32 going to third period.
Yeah, but the Eagles haven't really moved the ball well offensively, so you've kept the pressure all on afternoon. You get 7 points in here, you really put a lot of pressure on the Eagles offense.
Roger Ruzek is good with a field goal, and we have a tie football game at Veterans Stadium. 10:28 to go, third quarter. Tim Ryan and Joe Theismann here in Philadelphia. Buddy Ryan applauding his troops, trying to pump them up here. They've just surrendered a field goal, 25 yards to Roger Ruzek, and we have a tie football game here in Philadelphia.
Well, his defense has done the job. They've caused turnovers. They've gotten good field position for the offense, but the offense has not managed to take advantage of them. That's something he's got to be a little bit concerned with.
Ruzek's kickoff comes down at the 5-yard line. Bobby Morse from Michigan State. Good piece of running, gets out to the 24-yard line. Stopped there by Ron Burton, reserve linebacker. And a reminder that next Saturday, 2:30 Eastern Time, number 9 ranked Syracuse. The Orangemen take on Pittsburgh, and the unbeaten Orangemen have been beating up on people. A big win over Penn State last week, and yesterday, look what they did to Colgate, 52-6. Pittsburgh, meanwhile, winning over Navy. Next Saturday, exciting college football action on CBS Sports. Eagles from their own 24. Byers. Good hole for Keith Byers and a first down to the 35. Joe, you mentioned how the Eagles defensively have been solid, at least preventing the Cowboys from big plays, big points. But the Cowboys have had the ball for 22 minutes and 7 seconds in this game to only 11:25, so that's part of the reason why the Eagles' offense has not been able to do a whole lot today so far either. They haven't really been out there very much.
Yeah, Tim, but the reason why they've only had the ball 11 minutes and 25 seconds is because they haven't been able to get first downs after one another. So they've hurt themselves in that regard.
Well, they have one here. Byers again. Oh, it's Randall Cunningham is sacked out the left side. Jeff Rohrer put a tremendous hit on him. The ball came loose, but it will be Eagles possession. Good fake out this side to Byers. But the Cowboys on the right side didn't buy it.
Well, you'll see Cunningham make a series of fakes. Now, the Cowboys, again, moving around their defensive line. They don't buy the fake. He gets around Jeffcoat. That's just great athletic ability. Now, he wants to throw, pulls the ball in, and just gets flat knocked down. Again, the ground cannot cause a fumble. That's the reason why the ball was not given to the Cowboys. But, boy, what a hit he took.
Outspoken Jeff Rohrer from Yale with that lick on him. Second and long. A flag on the play. A couple of flags. Keith Byers, the ball carrier, and he may have been moving a little early, but the Eagles say the penalty is going to be against Dallas. So
yeah, you always got to you got to go with the players because they're close to the referee.
That's right. Yeah, and no prejudice at all. Now it's against Dallas. A little technical transmission problem there.
There it is, right there. And, you know, that's part of the offense. It said, you know, Dorsett and Walker, 21 rushes, 83 yards. The Eagles, 11 rushes, 55 yards. But you can't just break a 10-yarder and then go 2 or 3 series and break another 10-yarder. You have to gain some consistent yardage. That statistic is very misleading to the way the offenses in the rushing game has contributed to each team this afternoon.
It's second and 12 now for the Eagles with the infraction against Dallas. Cunningham in trouble again. Look at him get out of it. A magician on that play, kept popping up like a rabbit out of a hat.
This is one coach's nightmare, another coach's dream. If you're Tom Landry and Ernie Staudter, it's a nightmare. If you're Ted Plum and Buddy Ryan, it's a dream. He starts to the right, he's in the grasp of Ed Jones, comes around, spins around to the outside. Now he's still trying to throw the football, Keith Byers says, throw it to me. He says, no, I'm too busy ducking for my life. Now he turns it upfield and lunges for the first down.
Byers. First down, Eagles. Keith Byers to the 38 of Dallas. Michael Downs on the tackle. 15-yard gain.
Just a simple pitch out to the left. Byers feeling very healthy. You know, talking to him yesterday, he said he feels so much more confident, so much more comfortable with the offense. Last year was spent trying to learn how to be a professional number one and learn the system number two. He came in with a lot of the Eagles early in February to get more comfortable with this offensive system.
Spagnuolo in motion. Cunningham deep. Incomplete for Mike Quick. May have lost it in the sun. Coverage by Ron Francis, the rookie from Baylor. There are shadows across the entire field with the exception of one corner.
Right here on this, you're going to see the shadows as the players move down the field. That ball is coming dead out of the sun. It's a little bit underthrown. The wind grabs it just a little bit, and it goes right through Mike's hands. Again, you see the shadows. He's looking dead into the sun. Just does sneak away from him. We talked about going, you know, into that end zone. Now, if you look at this particular picture, you see where the sun is, but also that wind just grabs that ball and does funny things with it when it comes down.
Cunningham 6 of 14. Screen out to Quick.
This is a quick screen. You see, the safeties are blitzing for the Cowboys. The Eagles caught him in the perfect defense. Spagnuolo out front making the block. There's Matt Darwin. Now look at that hurdling job by Quick. This is a track meet. It's not a football game.
What a terrific piece of running we've seen on 2 out of the last 3 plays. Randall Cunningham, actually 3. And Keith Byers on his run and Quick on that piece.
Right here in this part of the ball game, Tim, conditioning is something we haven't talked about. But these guys have been off for 4 weeks. You've got a definite age factor for the Dallas Cowboys. Their defensive line averages 9 years of experience. There's linebacker 7. Their defensive backs 5. You've got a very young offense, a very young football team for the Eagles. If they can keep the pressure on, conditioning-wise, the advantage goes to the younger team.
Defensive play by the Cowboys. Bates was there. The linebacker Steve DeCossy was there. Number 55 batting the ball away.
Cunningham going in the middle. They've double covered both the outside receivers. So it's Spagnuolo working against Hegman and Diossi. He makes the move. Just great defensive play. Steve Diossi gets his hands in, knocks it away.
Lockhart was the injured Cowboy on the play in which Mike Quick hurdled his way down to the 10-yard line. So the middle linebacker, the regular, not on the field. Now he's back in on this play. To the 1-yard line. Keith Byers.
This is a play everybody has seen from the day you start playing football. It's a simple handoff dive play to the fullback. And look at the hole that they create. Schreiber, Darwin, Fury, all opening up a big gap in that Cowboy defense.
Keith Byers having a fine afternoon. Up to 67 yards.
He's becoming the back that they'd hoped he was going to become when they drafted him out of Ohio State last year.
Imagine 2 foot surgeries, 1 to each foot. 3rd and goal. Tony, touchdown.
Bears now coming around from the left is Tony, and Michael Downs reads this perfect. He's got a shot at Tony, but he can't hold on to him. Lockhart can't hold on to him. He gets in the end zone. That's about as fine a drive for a touchdown as I've seen in football.
Paul McFadden barefoots it over the goalpost for a lead now for the Eagles of 20-13. We're back at Veterans Stadium in Philadelphia, where we've had a very exciting football game. A 13-10 halftime lead by the Eagles now stands at 20-13. Their best drive of the day, 75 yards, 9 plays, 5:07 used up on the clock, and that young man, Anthony Tony, took it in from 1 yard out to open a 20-13 lead.
You got big plays in that drive. First one from Randall Cunningham, next one from Keith Byers, next one from Mike Quick, Tony capping it off. That's one of the finest drives I believe I've ever seen a football team put together with individual effort.
Telchik with the kickoff, a bouncing ball fielded at the 25. Timmy Newsom gets out to the 38-yard line, so the Cowboys start with pretty good field position. Now we see the Redskins in a squeaker against the Jets lead by 1 in the third period. And Washington coming into the game with a 4-1 mark thanks to the good work by their replacement team. Dallas at 3-2, trying to get to 4-2 here today, and the Eagles 1-4. Next week the Eagles have another NFC East battle against St. Louis. Some of you will see that game, and others of you will be watching the Redskins at Buffalo. Down Cowboys. Walker in motion. Play action. White. Man open, and it's overthrown. Intended for Dorsett. And you know, when you think back in the context of this game, Joe, that's really about the only bad ball Danny White has thrown in the entire game. And with the exception of one little short one very early that he threw into the ground.
Well, I think that short one has to do with the fact that he can't get his wrist loose. Other than that, Danny White has put on an exceptional show this afternoon in the face of a lot of pressure. He knew he was going to be the man on the bubble and on the hot seat, and he's really responded. Had Tony Dorsett open down the field and just let the ball get away. You know, as a quarterback, when you get the swirling winds like you do in Veterans Stadium, it makes it a little bit difficult to just hang the ball and put it where you want. It floats a little on you. I think that's what happened on that one.
2nd and 10. The Eagles jump around in their defense to give Dallas a different look. Play action again. Out to Walker. Here comes his blocker. And Walker gets about 7. And he's stacked up by 3 Eagles. Clyde Simmons, the defensive end. Dwayne Giles, number 53, the linebacker. Terry Hogue, the safety, gets in on it as well.
That was a very similar play to what we saw the Eagles run in hitting Mike Quick earlier in this quarter. That time he fakes to Dorsett in the backfield. Herschel Walker split out, gets a few linemen out in front of him, pick and run your way. The Eagles did a good job reacting.
3 wide receivers in for the Cowboys on 3rd and 3. Now White directing traffic from the shotgun. That's for Edwards. Can't hold on. Kelvin Edwards off the tip of his fingers.
Danny White under pressure again. Clyde Simmons and Jerome Brown put a lot of pressure on him. He just makes a great throw. Kelvin Edwards just gets it on his fingertips and can't hold on to it.
So the Cowboys will have to punt. John Saxon, first of the day for Saxon. Deep man is Greg Garrity for the Eagles. Mike Saxon make it. Recovered by the Eagles. A close call there. William Frizzell saved the bacon for Greg Garrity. 4:06 to go. Tim Ryan and Joe Theismann here at Veterans Stadium. You old enough to remember John Saxon?
No.
Well, I don't think too many people do anyway, but he's not the punter. Punter's Mike Saxon. What a big play by Frizzell to come up with that loose
Absolutely.
ball.
Garrity lets it go right through his hand. Bang. The ball's bouncing for the Eagles this afternoon.
From their 18-yard line, Philadelphia has the ball and the lead. 20-13, 4:06 to go, third quarter. Anthony Toney. Maybe 2 on the play. Eugene Lockhart, the middle linebacker for the Cowboys, makes the stop.
I talked to Ted Plum, who's the offensive coordinator for the Philadelphia Eagles, earlier in the day, and he said that Randall Cunningham is maturing almost on a weekly basis. They give him a few more audibles each week. He said he's never seen him more prepared for a game plan in a football game than he is for this game today.
2nd and 8. The pitch to Toney again. Good defensive play. Stripping through the blockers. The Cowboys were waiting for him behind the line. Mike Hegman, the veteran number 58, making the play. Maybe a half yard at most. 3rd down. 4 new defenders come on for the Cowboys, and their defense starting to look more and more like the Buddy Ryan defense of the Bears days, and now with the Eagles.
Well, what they decided to do today is they've only gone with 3 defensive linemen: Jeff Coates, Jones, and Randy White. They bring in all their defensive backs on the roster and let them play up front.
And it pays off here. Byers nowhere to go, and it was a defensive back, Victor Scott, number 22, coming up to make the play Joe was just describing. And the Eagles will have to punt. The best defensive series yet for the Cowboys. They stopped the Eagles cold.
You know, when they put in all those defensive backs, it places a premium on speed. The right thing to do is run, but when you've got 3rd down and 9, that's a lot to ask a back to pick up against those quick little defensive backs.
John Telchik will punt. Standing at his 6. Kelvin Edwards, the deep man. Bad punt again by Telchik. Takes an Eagle bounce. Rolls down to the 43-yard line of Dallas, where it's down there. So Telchik got a little bit of help from the bounce. Otherwise, not a good kick. A beautiful day for NFL football, and 61,630 are out here compared to last week, the final 3 weeks ago, their last home game, the Ersatz Eagles, and they are enjoying this one here today, especially because their team is in front. But there is a long way to go, and Dallas has the football with 2:06 to go, 3rd period, and excellent field position at their own 44. Set. Not much. Clyde Simmons and Dwayne Giles cut him off. Tampa Bay, threatened a little bit by the Bears, has opened to 26-14, and recent word that Jim McMahon has entered the game at quarterback for the Bears.
There's also a game where I think the conditioning is going to be a factor. Chicago's big guys up front, a lot of mobility, a lot of speed, a lot of enthusiasm, can drain you easily. Gets real hot in Tampa.
2nd down and 9. Dallas. Play action. White intended for Cosby, incomplete. Streaking down the sideline, wide open, was Herschel Walker.
Again, they try and move Herschel Walker into positions so that it creates a problem for the Philadelphia defense. That time they couldn't find him. He was split out, but neither could Danny White. He's supposed to clear out on a clearing pattern, and Cosby is supposed to cut in behind him to make a reception. That didn't work.
Well, you can see the crowd here among the 61,000, those who feel that maybe the real Eagles are going to be winners under Buddy Ryan. They're 1-4, trying to climb back into the race. White is sacked. Loose ball again. Dallas recovers. Cowboy ball, but back inside their own 30. 3rd sack by the Eagles. Reggie White whipping up the crowd. Tremendous enthusiasm that young man has. The 3rd-year man from Tennessee. Waters hurt on the play.
Well, he went out earlier with a calf problem. From the right of your screen, or left of your screen, you're going to see Reggie White. There's Ken Clark. Now coming around from the left of your screen, there's Reggie White working on Mark Tuinei. He just makes the turn, gets a hand on Danny, and Clyde Simmons knocks the ball away. Ken Clark tries to jump on it. Tuinei with the recovery.
Clyde Simmons and Reggie White. Two huge defensive ends with good speed. Simmons at 260, 6'6" tall, and White 6'5", 285. Buddy Ryan calls him the best defensive lineman he's ever been around.
And he also said Jerome Brown, another one of the force up front, was the best football player in his opinion last year in the draft. Of course, that's a defensive coach's opinion.
Yes.
But, you know, you have to take that in consideration.
Waters being attended to on the field, and this opportunity to remind you about next week's action, because the Eagles will be at St. Louis, another key NFC East battle. It's a doubleheader week on CBS. Some of you will see this game, the Redskins at Buffalo.
Redskins having their problems a little bit today with the Jets, 7-6 last time we checked.
New Orleans trailing San Francisco today, will be at Atlanta, but the Saints a much improved team since Jim Mora arrived. And in the doubleheader game, that rivalry in California, the 49ers will be down at Anaheim against the Rams. Waters coming off the field, and may have been a recurrence of the same injury, perhaps a cramp. We're trying to get a report. Russell Gary has come in to replace him. Cowboys have to punt. Greg Garrity at his 20. Dropped on a good open field tackle. Linebacker number 59, Jesse Penn. 51-yard punt for Saxon.
I can liken. This is what the punter and punt returners have to deal with. Now, you see him kick the ball. Garrity is, first of all, he's got to check and find out the flight of the ball. Now, when it's moving and swirling, he makes the catch. Now he's facing, where do I go with the football? Well, let's go this way. No, I don't want to go that way. Let me go this way. No, party's over.
Garrity probably happy to hold on to that one. Tony, maybe a yard. Again, good pursuit by the Cowboys. Lockhart, they have made running tough on the Eagles. In the last series, they shut them down in 3 consecutive downs. 2nd and 9.
Well, the Eagles can stay in the huddle and let the quarter run out, and they're going to wind up with the wind at their back, which will be a real pleasant experience for Telchik, as well as their offense.
Time winding down in this quarter, and the word on Waters, yes, a cramp in his calf. We expect to see him back. And that's the end of the third quarter. With the score, the Philadelphia Eagles 20, the Dallas Cowboys 13. We now pause for a word from your local station.
Maker of the Accord LX 4-door sedan. And by Duracell, introducing freshness dating from Duracell. Now there's a date code on every new pack.
Bringing up 3rd down and 8. It'll be 3rd and 8 for Randall Cunningham, as we are just underway in the 4th quarter here at Veterans Stadium.
That time Cunningham tried to take a short set, hit Jackson on a quick post pattern, actually hit Lockhart in the back.
7 of 17 for Cunningham, not anywhere near White's numbers, but his team is in front, 20 to 13. Cunningham under pressure and again eludes the tackler Bates and gets the ball away, but incomplete. Intended for quick, a flag is down. And there may be an interference penalty against the Cowboys. Manny Hendricks.
That play was made by Randall Cunningham's ability to escape defenders.
Interference, number 35 defense. First down.
That's just great offensive play. You'll see now Cunningham has the presence to throw the ball quick, trying to come back and make the play. Hendricks just lost sight of where the ball was and what was going on with Cunningham.
Randall Cunningham got away from Bill Bates. He's been dropped 4 times and hurried a couple of times, but he is...
Yeah, we also want to put up their escapes, because he's made some big ones.
He has certainly made some escapes. Hangs out up for quick, and he's got it, but out of bounds. Out of bounds. Well, they talk about the gun this young man has. There's a sample right there.
And the one thing I asked him about, what's the one thing you worked on in training camp in the offseason? He said throwing the streak patterns, which this is. He's trying to get his receivers to stay further in from the sidelines. You see what happens? He throws the ball over the outside shoulder of the wide receiver, perfectly away from the defensive back. But that time, Mike Quick was too close to the sidelines. So how do you interpret that? Mike Quick should have been further in on the field so Cunningham has a place to drop the ball. I guess they have to go back and work on it a little more.
Francis and Downs helped to keep him as wide as he was, however. They had the coverage. 2nd and 10. Out of bounds, overthrown, intended for Garrity, number 86. Garrity in to give Quick the rest after Quick had just made the long run on the preceding play. 3rd and 10, and Quick returns to the lineup.
Ron Francis was the defender on that one. He's a rookie out of Baylor, and it looks like they want to work on the left side.
There you see Andre Waters
getting his tires changed.
That's right.
In the pitch, getting some new rubber put on.
Working on that cramped calf muscle. 3rd and 10, Cunningham gets some time. Sideliner too high for Kenny Jackson. Sail that one.
Put that one on a rope. I'd really be curious to see how far he can actually throw that thing. I mean,
what's your guess?
I'd say 75, 80 yards.
Really?
I think.
How far could you throw it in your prime?
Not 80 yards. I threw it once, 73 yards.
Really?
Yeah. That was way back in my prime then. Just starting to get primed.
Telchik to punt. He gets this one. Edwards from the 22. Flag down and a loose ball, but whistle dead.
We're gonna have a little controversy here.
Russell Gary came up with the ball and took it down to the Dallas 12. Now there was a flag first, then there was a fumble. What I thought I heard was a very fast whistle. I didn't see the ball hit the ground.
No, it did not. The ball did not hit the ground. It popped up. The question is going to be, and you see the referees conferring now, they've got a difficult decision to make. Did the whistle actually stop play, or was play continued even though there was a slight whistle, which we heard?
Gene Barth is the referee.
Illegal use of the hands against Dallas. Penalty refused.
They didn't hear any whistle.
It is Eagles ball. And again, I said I thought I heard a whistle. May not have been a whistle. I don't want to say that there was. But it sounded to me like there might have been, but play carried on. It is Eagles ball. Russell Gary.
You'll see the lower part of your screen, the official coming from the left. Now, Kelvin Edwards starts up inside. There's number 76 waving his hands, you see? He waves his hands. He started to blow the whistle a little bit, turns around, and they go in the other direction.
It was Terry Hogue who pried it loose from Kelvin Edwards. 34, Hogue.
He's never down. That ball's popped up in the air.
And here comes Gary on the fly.
Catches it on the run.
Eagles ball at the 12-yard line. They block a field goal try to set up the score. Dallas has fumbled to them twice, and now a third time. Byers hit at the 10-yard line. Got maybe 3 on the play. So turnovers continue to plague the Cowboys this afternoon. 4 fumbles, they've lost 3 of them, and they've had a field goal block to boot.
Kelvin Edwards, one of the replacement players that has made the Dallas Cowboy football team. Young man with a lot of talent. He's going to have to learn on to hang on to the piece.
2nd down, inside the 10. Byers. Inside the 5. Rohr and Lockhart made the tackle. Byers did not have a real good grip on that, nearly lost it.
Well, you know, it's a little chilly. It's just a little cool outside. Here comes Spagnola in motion. He's going to turn up, put a block. You see him hit Rohr on the outside. Now Byers leading up. He's got the ball in his left hand. Now it almost comes out. Actually, it does get away from his body. As the evening comes on in Philadelphia, it's getting a little bit chilly. You've got that swirling wind on the field. It makes it a little harder to hold the pigskin.
3rd and 2. Inside the 5. Byers hit right at the line by Hegman. The missed a block on Hegman. He had a free shot and did the job. 4th down. Cunningham signaling that it's just about a yard for a first down, but the field goal unit is on.
And without hesitation, Buddy Ryan sends his field goal unit out.
12:34 and counting down in the 4th period.
I'd agree with this one. See? Well,
I think you should have agreed with the one by Landry as well.
Well, looking back, I think so. Well, you know, really, in that situation, you've got them backed up. You've got their offensive stop. You might have well tried it, but here you got a chance to go 10 points up.
McFadden from 21 yards out, and the Eagles widen their lead. 12:10 to play, 23-13. There's a look at what has happened here in Philadelphia today. Turnovers have plagued the Dallas Cowboys, and they have led to 13 Eagle points. And you can see that Dallas has a considerable edge in total yardage, but the scoreboard is all it counts, despite the fine day by Danny White thus far. 23-13. The 3rd field goal by McFadden, opening the lead to 23-13, Joe. But the big play so far, well, one of many, but certainly the most fun play, the blocked field goal by Clyde Simmons.
Well, you see, Reggie White gets credit officially, but Clyde Simmons gets his hands on it. Terry Hogue picks it up and starts down the field. And, you know, you look at the speed of the defensive back. That's Rohr trying to make a tackle. Now, Hogue's going to get tackled. He goes to the ground. He says, no, here you go. William Frizzell takes it, and he says, I'll take it down a little bit. Then he looks for Gary. Now, Gary makes the move, but that was illegal. That was a forward lateral. You saw the flag come in, but it certainly was exciting.
Well, it led to the first field goal, the first touchdown, of the day by the Philadelphia Eagles. Cunningham to Spagnuolo. Now, here's a good return for the Cowboys out to the 35-yard line by Darrell Clack. So the Cowboys in good field position again from their 35-yard line, a 33-yard return by Clack. Now, don't forget, next Saturday, college football on CBS Sports. Number 9 ranked and unbeaten Syracuse against arch rival Pittsburgh. Live at 2:30 Eastern.
And Pittsburgh, of course, being the only defeat to the University of Notre Dame, the ranked University of Notre Dame Fighting Irish. There comes a time in a football game when there are certain key situations. This is a key situation for the Dallas Cowboys. They have to mount some type of a drive to take the momentum and the steam out of the Philadelphia Eagles machine. They've been stopped. They've made mistakes. They've made all kinds of turnovers. Now they get a chance to gain momentum back, and this is where I believe that having the veterans that they do and having been in tough ball games like this, it'll be an advantage for them.
Dorsett just picked up 2 yards, but Joey has not been a factor today. 32 yards rushing on 11 carries.
Well, the running game as a whole hasn't been a factor for the Cowboys.
Play action. Sack. 4th of the day by the Eagles. Simmons and Clark combined to haul down Danny White at the 26.
Well, this is a quick screen. There's Rafferty in the middle, Zimmerman on his left, Crawford Kerr on his right. Now, Danny has to get rid of the ball, but Andre Waters has floated out. Now, it's not the offensive line's fault. Danny's got to unload it. When you've got a quick screen set up, you can't pull it back down. You've got to throw it out into row 16 or throw it somewhere where the defense is not going to get it, but because there's no blocking for you.
It brings up 3rd down and about 18 for Danny White. Pressure again. He just unloaded that ball. A flag comes down as he was dropped by Clyde Simmons. Now, they may be
intentional grounding.
It is intentional grounding. Cowboys plead their cause. Newsom saying, hey, I was in the area.
Now you see Danny White's just going to do anything he can to get rid of the ball. Clyde Simmons is closing fast. He actually hits Reggie White in the head. Timmy Newsom said, I was in the area. I was in the area. The official says, no. Gene Barth says, that's not the case.
A real hurry up on this punt situation. And players running all over the field. Saxon at the goal line. Good kick. Mike Saxon. Bearcat signals Garrity at the 45 of the Eagles. So they've got a good spot to start from. They lead by 10 points with 10:37 remaining regulation time. Sins tonight. James Tarantino and Joe Eikenberry. Play action. Complete to Tony. Anthony Tony stepped out, but not before he got to the 24-yard line of Dallas.
That time it's Randall Cunningham who put so much pressure on the Dallas defense. Here you'll see him make the fake to Keith Byers, holds the defense. Look at Jeffcoat get pulled inside. Now he just makes a little dink throw to Tony, and he turns upfield, gets an escort. Spagnola leading the way. Mike Quick down there trying to block.
Well executed 30-yard gain.
But he got so excited he took his headset off.
Eagles inside the Cowboy 25. Play action again. Same play the other way to Tony. To the 15-yard line. You know, that big, tall, lanky quarterback at 6'4" is a very good ball handler.
Oh, he's a good ball handler. Does a nice job. And what's really impressed me is his composure and his ability to just put a great touch on the ball. Having watched him last year, he had a tendency to throw the ball too hard to the shorter receivers. Now he's developing a touch where he just lays the ball out, makes it really easy for the guys to catch and get turned upfield. Randall Cunningham, you can almost watch him grow on a week-to-week basis.
Well, it's interesting, too, that he's got to be real busy with his mouthpiece. Takes it out when he calls each play.
I don't know how he can get the communication through.
Second half, about a yard. Well, he takes it out. Byers has the first down. Philadelphia knocking on the door again. Randy White and Jeff Rohr stopped him. But the ball is now at the 11-yard line.
That's going to tighten up the division. The Jets are leading the Redskins 16-7. That makes this game so important. There's Jeff Rohr. Now, on that last play, Jeff Rohr is forced outside because Cunningham has rolled out once to the left, once to the right. He came outside to make sure he had contained on Cunningham and wound up allowing Byers to pick up that additional yardage inside. A mobile quarterback puts so much pressure on a defense.
First down. They need to get to the one for another first down.
You just don't like to get that reputation.
Speaking of quarterbacks, they just handed me this. Jim McMahon has just scored on a 1-yard run. 5:31 still to play in the fourth period. And now Tampa Bay leads 26-20. Loose ball. Tony fumbled it. Looks like the Cowboys have it. Dallas has recovered at the 49-yard line of the Cowboys. Ed Jones. Utah came up with a loose ball.
Well, that could be the break the Cowboys are looking for. It's just a simple pitch. Cunningham turns around, flips it out to Tony. He makes the turn upfield. Jeffcoat gets caught inside. Down gets caught. Lockhart, Smerrick's in the game. Ball just pops loose. Michael Downs knocking the ball loose. Steve Pallure coming in the ball game for the Cowboys. Tony makes the turn. He's got the ball tucked away in fine position. Downs just comes in and strips it away from him. I mentioned it gets a little chilly in Philadelphia, and the ball becomes a little more difficult, a little slicker to hold on to.
Steve Pallure is the quarterback. Pallure escapes the sack and is hit hard at midfield. Might be a one-play game for Pallure. Seth Joyner nearly broken in half. Pallure done a great job to elude the charge by Jerome Brown, only to be met with a crushing tackle by Joyner.
Well, you'll see what happens is he's got the ball. Now he starts to go down, and that left forearm, gosh, just a whack on the side of the head. He's down for the count. Hopefully he'll be all right, just a little bit dazed.
While they attend to Steve Pallure, let's go to Brent Musburger for an NFL update. They're still working on Steve Pallure down there. Danny White is back out on the field. Now, you know, this is an unfortunate thing for anybody to get hurt here, Joe, but I just want to get your analysis here of what you think Tom Landry was thinking sending in Pallure. I mean, was he saying, well, 30-13, we better get a fresh horse in there? On the other hand, White, despite the fact he's 3 for 10 in the second half, over the game has been a dangerous guy for them.
Well, he has, but you see, they've started to get a lot of pressure. As you mentioned, he's 3 for 10 in the second half. They put just a ton of pressure on him. I think Tom's also seen the fact that Randall Cunningham has escaped a lot because of his mobility. Pallure is able to run. As we see here on this particular scramble, Pallure has the ability to scramble and make things happen. He can make something out of nothing. Danny White is basically a pocket passer. Right there, he just gets his head crunched by the forearm of Joyner. But that's why I think Coach Landry put him in, because Pallure can move around, and the fact that you're 17 points down with 5 minutes to go in the game. It's a good opportunity to get Pallure a chance to play a little bit. But I think more importantly, it's his mobility, and that's the reason why he put him in the ballgame.
Well, it's 2nd and 9 as Pallure, with his good effort, escaping from Brown, taking the hit from Joyner, got a yard. And Danny White takes over at the 50-yard line. A gain of maybe 2.
Yeah, Danny does a smart thing. He takes a short set, fires the ball out to Cosby. Cosby gets out of bounds, saving a little bit of, actually, what's a really valuable time right now for the Cowboys. They need every second they can hang on to in this ballgame.
4:40 left to play. 3rd down and 6. Where it is that Steve Pallure will not return.
You were right. One play.
First down, Dallas, but a flag is down. Holding Dallas. Buffalo and Miami. Look at that.
68 offense. 10-yard penalty. We'll replay a 3rd down.
Crawford Kerr charged with the hold, and we see Steve Pallure being attended to on the Dallas bench.
Buddy Ryan with Cooper and Brown, 2 of his defensive backs, going to send them in. 3rd down in a bunch. Now he makes his substitutions. I do remember when you actually played with 11 men just on defense in football. You know that.
Yes.
I played that long ago. I do remember when just 11 guys started the game and finished the game.
Every play looks like a fire drill out there these days. The substitutions. 3rd down, 17. White. The ball was tipped. It's caught by Edwards. Short of the 1st down, but a good effort, alert concentration by Calvin Edwards, because the ball was tipped en route to him. 4th down, obviously Dallas will have to go.
Andre Waters on that play made the #1 mistake, or the one thing they teach a defensive back: attack the ball at its highest point when it's in the air. That time, as the ball was tipped at the line, he waited for it to come to him. Calvin Edwards did the right thing by coming back and taking it out of Waters' hands.
Tremendous comeback on the screen there by Detroit against Green Bay. For Edwards, flag down, play broken up by Albert Fowles, number 29. Flag was closer to the line of scrimmage. Offside, Eagles. That'll get Dallas a 1st down. And they are in Eagles territory at the 40.
Lined up in the neutral zone. 5-yard penalty. That gives them a 1st down.
Jerome Brown, the Miami rookie, trying to get a little extra edge.
Yeah, he's just in a hurry to get into Zoom's face. You know, Jeff Zimmerman's nickname is Zoom.
Well, I asked Brown, how'd you do against Zimmerman? You played at Miami, he played at Florida. He said, yeah, we met 4 times. And he agreed that if somebody asked him the scoreboard, it would be for him 4 to love.
Yeah, would you expect anything different?
I don't know whether Zimmerman agrees. White. What a catch. Mike Renfro. Leaping, diving catch for Renfro. 1st down at the Eagles' 20.
The play action pass on 1st down. He's going to fake the ball to Herschel Walker. Now, we've talked about how conscious the Eagles are. You see them react. Mike Renfro coming from the top of your screen. Now, Danny just does, again, what he's done all afternoon. Hang the ball up in perfect shape. Renfro makes a great catch. He didn't have to go up in the air. He just could have kept on running.
first down at the 19 of the Eagles. Look at the Eagles shifting. For Walker, incomplete.
This one's going to come right at you. Danny White's going into the pocket. The blitz is on, which is nothing unusual. Herschel goes outside. Now he tries the old basket behind the back. Little hit me in the face. Throw it up in the air. You know, it's hard to catch a ball just as your head hits the ground and the ball's in front of it. It's like a soccer shot.
Look at this final. Pittsburgh over Cincinnati. And he thought the Bengals, serious Super Bowl contender this year. I wanted them. Had that tragic loss to San Francisco on the final play, leading to Pittsburgh. Screen pass, Dorsett. Touchdown. Tony Dorsett.
Boy, if you're a Cowboy fan, how many times have you seen the Dallas Cowboys get down to the 20-yard line, throw a little screen play to Tony Dorsett, and let him pick his way into the end zone? That time the Cowboys took advantage of the aggressive nature of the Philadelphia Eagles, let them all rush Danny White, dumps the ball out to Tony Dorsett on the left side, and Tony breaks it in for 6.
Steve Ballore had his bell rung there a few plays back, is out holding for the point after. We're glad to see that he's all right.
Hopefully he'll see only one ball.
Mike Roger Ruzek will be attempting the point after. 2:58 still to play. And Ruzek has the point after. And it's a 10-point margin.
Again, here come the Eagles. They're going to put a lot of pressure on Danny White. You see the moves up front. Ken Clark, Reggie White, Mike Pitts all putting pressure on. Now Tony Dorsett sifts out to the left. Jeff Zimmerman leading the way, gets a good block on Reichenbach. There you see Kerr lead the way. Rafferty's out front, and Tony just gets on into the end zone. Even Mike Renfro going to signal for the 6. That's always the job of the wide receiver downfield. Signal for the touchdown.
51 yards in 6 plays. Danny White to Dorsett for a 19-yard score and a 10-point deficit now. With 2:58 still to play, the Eagles led 13-10 at the half in a closely fought contest, with Dallas dominating in the offensive stats but turning the ball over and giving Eagles their scoring opportunities. Here in the second half, Dallas cut the margin early in the third period, but then Tony sent the Eagles up on top again 20-13, and now they have a 10-point lead with Dallas scoring on this last play.
There you see, they only had the play, you know, the most plays they've had is 7. Also on this last drive that went where they took the ball from row 49, it was 4th down and 4 when the ball was actually taken away but given back to them on a penalty.
Dallas showing an onside kick.
Maybe.
It's kept in play. Dallas says they have it. Hold on to your cowboy hats in Texas.
They do have it.
Discussion there. Gene Barth, the referee.
It's Cowboy ball.
Ron Francis came up with a football for the Cowboys, and it is Dallas ball.
There you're going to see the ball hit the ground. Now it's going to go up in the air. Right there, the ball goes up in the air. And the worst thing you can have it do is land back in the field. It's a jump ball, a mad pile up, and the Cowboys get on it.
All right, so the Cowboys with 2:51 to go and a 10-point deficit have successfully executed that onside kick.
Gene Barth explaining to everybody that the Dallas Cowboys have the football. That's what he said.
I'll take your word for it, because I couldn't hear him.
Well, look. That's,
they have the ball.
That's right.
That's denying that.
We had to say that.
Danny White at quarterback. Lots of time left. Deep for Barksdale and broken up by Royale Young. Well, the Washington Redskins have pulled in front of the Jets 17-16 in the fourth quarter.
And that's the second time that there's one for you, Atlanta and Houston, 30-30. Lots of points on the board in this first week back to real football. That's the second time in the game that the Cowboys have tried to go after Roynell Young, and the second time in the game that he's knocked the ball away. They've worked on Elbert Fowles most of the day. I wouldn't be surprised if they're going to throw that. They do throw to the left side.
2nd and 10. So the short man, Barksdale, but he had to dive for the catch and was unable to get moving before the Eagles stopped him there. Gain of maybe 4 yards at most for Barksdale. Rod Barksdale came over from the Raiders in the trade for Ron Fellows and not seen a lot of action today. Pass is coming his way, but he was the man they went too deep there.
Here's another one of those big situations in the ballgame.
Third down. So far back, he ran into the official. 2 minutes to play.
Danny White scrambling as he takes a snap from center. He feels the pressure from the defense. Now, the guy circled is Gene Barth, the referee. He's back to protect Danny White. Now, Reggie White flushes Danny White back to the left. Clyde Simmons, Dwayne Giles make the move, but he runs into Gene Barth. Now, he throws the ball down. He comes up in disgust, and he says, for crying out loud, get out of the way. Gene says, look, Danny, I'm trying to get out of the way. He's also trying to protect him.
He's also 22 yards deep. He could have said, what are you doing back this far?
I wonder if he gets a half a sack.
4th down, they got to go again. White steps up. Incomplete. Intended for Gordon Banks. And the Cowboys have to surrender the ball. The Redskins squeaked it out against the Jets at home in Washington 17-16, and Washington moves up to 5-1. A field goal by former Giant Ali Haji Sheikh. 28 yards out, divided the victory. Buddy Ryan feeling like maybe he's got this one in his win column, which would bring them to 2-4 as the Redskins have moved to 5-1. Dallas, if they lose here, they fall to 3-3. Cunningham to Myers. Myers got about a yard, and Dallas takes a timeout. Brooks and Jones on the tackle for the Cowboys. 1:49 on the clock. Dallas has 2 timeouts remaining.
And I'll guarantee you the coaches now, of course, Ernie Stautner and Tom Landry on the Dallas sideline saying, try and strip the ball away. Let's see if we can get the ball back. The Eagle coach is telling Randall Cunningham, when you go into the huddle, there's Tom talking to defense. Now, buddy, all he's saying to Randall Cunningham is tell everybody to hang on to the football. We can run the clock out. We've got this thing if we don't put it on the ground.
Myers has 87 yards rushing today, Joe. He's had a real good afternoon for the Eagles, number 41.
And it's got to be
2 consecutive foot surgeries.
That's right. It's got to be a pleasant surprise because he's beginning to become the back that they'd hope he would. Myers
again. Myers dances through a good hole at the point of attack and picks up about 6 yards. Michael Downs and Eugene Lockhart stop him.
You know, this is going to be a real test for Tom Landry and his football team. One way you solve problems on a football team when there's some kind of dissension is by winning. If you lose, it only compounds itself. I believe that Coach Landry, in all the years that he's coached, probably has his biggest challenge these next few weeks trying to keep his football team together.
Giants in front of St. Louis in another NFC East battle. Good point, Joe. It's going to be a most interesting remainder of the season. This score just handed me. The Tampa Bay Bucks were leading 20-0 in this game against the Bears. Miracle Man McMahon has just passed Neil Anderson, and it is now 27-26 Chicago with 1:28 to play. And you see the Eagles' schedule, as we pointed out earlier, 5 consecutive NFC East games. This one a huge one to them, counting today's game. And next week they go to St. Louis and then Washington, the Giants, and St. Louis again.
Well, you know, Coach Landry said this is a 10-game season now. It's up to us to make something happen.
Cunningham with Rohr in pursuit. Trying to dive out of bounds. He came up a little short.
No, that time not, Tim. What he did is that such tremendous presence of mind. He knows if he runs out of bounds that the clock gets stopped. He gets the first down. He goes down in bounds. The most important thing to the Eagles right now is keeping that clock running. That was a very smart move. That wasn't like the one last time where he slid and not gone out.
Joe, until he's actually touched by a Cowboy, why would they even stop the play there until he's touched by a Cowboy?
With the rule with the quarterbacks, if the quarterback makes a decision or an impetus that he's going to go down on his own, they blow him dead to protect him. So that's what he did. That's one of those new rules to protect the quarterback.
Even if it's not a slide, in other words.
Just as long as, well, that was an ugly slide. That was a head-first ugly slide is what that was. But that was a great presence of mind. His maturity, as I've mentioned all afternoon, has been the most impressive thing to me watching him play last year and this year.
24-yard line, a first down for the Eagles with 1:19 on the clock.
He's run the ball 6 times today for 43 yards. Of course, the most spectacular was in that drive, that 75-yard drive for a touchdown when he scrambled around for the big first down pickup.
Cowboys have used up their final timeout. And a delay of game against the Eagles. They had Tony lined up way back just to make sure he could cut off any bad things happening to them. San Francisco has stopped the Saints 24-22, a thriller there. And New Orleans will be at Atlanta next week here on CBS Sports. That starts at 12:30 Eastern Time, and the doubleheader game will have the 49ers at the Rams. San Francisco has moved to 5-1.
Eagles are going to just run the clock out now. Cunningham will take as many snaps that are necessary. All this is going to do is hurt his rushing yardage a little, but I'm sure he doesn't care, nor does Buddy Ryan.
30-20. Eagles lead the Cowboys. Under a minute.
The story of the game, really, the story of the game was the Cowboys had a lot of offense the first half. The Eagles weren't able to take advantage of the turnovers. In the second half, the Eagle offense came on, and the Cowboy offense kept on moving the ball. But I have to say that the Eagle offense did the job against that Cowboy defense the second half. The fans want to see him do something exciting.
Well, what's exciting is up on the scoreboard.
That's exactly right. I mean, you know, the ones that are left in here want to see him run around, but they're feeling real good about what the Eagles have done this afternoon.
Well, they were one of the few teams that had nobody cross the picket line. They built confidence and closeness during that period, and a victory here today over Dallas certainly will only improve that. Now Cunningham's going to throw it to Quick, and it is a flag down on the incompletion in the end zone. 2 seconds remain on the clock. Franks has had the coverage for the Cowboys, and the Eagles will have the ball at the 1.
And the Eagles are, if you ask Buddy Ryan, did you try and rub it in? I don't think there'd be any question. Absolutely. He did not forget what happened 2 weeks ago when Tom Landry put Tony Dorsett and Danny White in the football game. Now, Tom's intentions may have been just to get his veterans some work. But Buddy Ryan obviously didn't feel that way. He said, to heck with it. Let's go after him. This is a little salt in the wound job.
What really irked Ryan that day was the first-team defense of those veterans, Randy White and Jones and Smirek, coming in with the Cowboys holding a commanding lead and time winding down.
If there wasn't bad blood before, there's going to be bad blood now.
Fire.
Texas is public enemy #1. Coach Landry cannot be happy. There you see the look. Just wonder what's going through his mind.
McFadden for the point after. Well, it was a creative way to rub salt in the wound.
Yeah, that's true. I'll admit that.
They certainly made it look like they were just going to run the clock out. McFadden.
You know, I've never seen a football game where one coach doesn't acknowledge another coach at the end of a game. You know, where they either wave to one another or walk across the field. Tom Landry heading right for the locker room. Buddy Ryan heading right for the locker room. The Eagles came out full of enthusiasm, led by their defense, and that's basically the way the game went.
Buddy Ryan had said, what goes around comes around. He took quite a shot on the chin when his replacement team, not anywhere near as prepared as the Cowboys, was whipping it.
Well, you know, it's pretty bad when we have to do stuff like that. But I think it's just capable of what other coaches have done. We planned that on the sideline, and we came out, and the coaches started hollering right when we went out there after the turnover, after they didn't convert the conversion.
Well, and what did you decide to do? That you would make it look like you're running out the clock and then select it down to make the pass?
Exactly. We decided that we were going to go out there, run the clock out. We got in the wrong formation, delay a game. We did it twice, and on third down, we went up, it might have been third or fourth, I'm not sure. We went up too quick, pass interference, and Byers goes in for the score.
Well, you had yourself a great day along with your teammates, Randall. Congratulations to you. I know you feel real better about the Eagles' fortunes now.
End zone. Well, pick him up. Don't you let Herschel get you from behind. He does, but the Eagles would go on to score. Still in the second quarter. The game has the Eagles leading 6-3. Roger Ruzick to try a 49-yard field goal. It's blocked. Picked up by Terry Hogue. Hogue, running for daylight, says, I ain't going to make it to the end zone. Better flip it to somebody, Terry. He says, William Frizzell, let's see what you can do with it. Who in turn flips to Russell Gary. Gary will take it down. You know it's an illegal forward pass, but when it's that good a play, you know I'm going to show it to you. It would be a dog day afternoon. Yes, Fudge, we know. Tom Landry. Anybody up there know what's going on the field? Third quarter, this game is tied 13-all. Randall Cunningham, who everybody knows is a great running quarterback, he throws to Mike Quick. Watch Quick. He breaks his tackle. Now watch this leap. Mike Quick right over the secondary. It was like this all day for the Eagles, battling for every yard they could get. Eagles would go on to score there, made it 20-13. Fourth quarter, Eagles are leading 30-20. Danny White looking for some help. Now you're running. Look out for the referee. Runs right into Gene Barth, the referee, then throws the ball, says, Gene, get out of my way. Referee Barth says, hey, man, I got as much right to be out here as you do. By the way, Danny played today. Maybe the referee's got more white. 30-20 Eagles. 2 seconds left. The Eagles, Keith Byers goes in for a touchdown. A little dance in the end zone. Tom Landry could not believe that the Eagles were running it up. Buddy Ryan, look at the smile on Ryan's face. I told him, payback is you know what. 37-20, Eagles over the Cowboys.
In full swing, the Dallas Cowboys met the Philadelphia Eagles. The Cowboys with a handful of veteran players who had crossed the line. In the second half, Coach Tom Landry elected to place them in the game, and in Eagles coach Buddy Ryan's eyes, run up the score. Ryan vowed he would get his revenge, and yesterday he had his chance. Third quarter, 13-13. Tony caps off 9-play, 75-yard drive, goes in with a touchdown, 20-13 Philly. Eagles defense put pressure on Danny White all day. Clyde Simmons, number 96, recorded 2.5 sacks, as well as recovering a fumble and blocking a field goal. White was sacked 5 times on the day. Now, last 10 seconds, all Randall Cunningham has to do is put his knee to the turf. The game's over, but they go for the pass and the bomb for the touchdown to Quick. Pass interference is called on the play. Tom Landry can't believe they were going for another touchdown. Ryan calls for a play to score with just 2 seconds left. And Keith Byers takes a handoff block once, but gets it into the end zone. And Buddy Ryan, just like that, ran it up and had his revenge.